Hello, and welcome to the Sausage Factory, the world's just preeminent live streaming movie discussion show. I'm your moderator, Pizzal. With me tonight, I have got the Professor B Movie Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys? You enjoying the holiday season so far?
I am so far, although it's like 70 degrees in Kentucky, so I mean, it's crazy.
I walked outside to check the mail today. It was like 85 degrees. I thought, holy shit, it's summertime. Mine must be in Australia. But it was pretty awesome. I'm enjoying it. I don't really miss the snow and ice. I don't give a shit about that. My favorite character in the old Rankin and Bass Christmas specials is always the Heat Miser. I wanted to hang out with that guy.
Well, I keep telling people like, I wish I lived in Florida, or I wish I lived somewhere where it's just warm all year round. And they always say, oh man, you'll miss the seasons. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'm willing to give it a shot. You know what I mean? And if I miss the seasons, I can drive back up to Kentucky and spend a couple of days, and then go back home. Go back to Florida.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's like 70 degrees here today. It's like I can't believe that Christmas is 8 days away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, also with me tonight is Jay the Stingray. How you doing, Jay?
Hey guys, how's it going? You know what? I heard there's a new Star Wars movie out. Did you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
I've been trying to avoid everything Star Wars, except for the old stuff. I mean, if I'm on Facebook or YouTube and I see Star Wars in the title, I just keep scrolling. I will not pay attention to it.
Well, I'm all wrapped up in the Chipmunks movie, personally. All I can think about is the new Chipmunks movie.
Well, actually, Jay and I already we've seen the movie without seeing it. So, we don't need to see it anymore.
Thanks to some douchebags.
We'll talk about that momentarily. Trust me. Luckily, James, DVD Collector 1974 is not here, or his head would literally explode live.
James, dude,
He has a shitty excuse for not being here.
Yeah, I think he's actually watching the movie right now, as a matter of fact. So,
okay.
What are we drinking tonight, Jay?
This is Fog Lifter from San Francisco Bay. Good stuff.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh, sounds wow. Never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Also with me tonight's Rambo Raph. What's going on, Rambo?
Doing well, feeling much better, and weirdly enough, I'm in Iowa, and there's still no snow, so it's not just a South thing. Where even in Iowa, there's been maybe one day, like a month ago, that had a little bit of snow, and now it looks like it'd be something like August, or maybe not August, but like October. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Al Gore was right.
Al Gore's right, yeah. See, what I'm afraid of, though, is that we'll be, like, buried in snow at the end of March. You know what I mean? So it'll be, that's probably what's going to happen here. So,
great.
Yeah. But glad you're feeling better. I know you had the flu there, so good.
Thank
Glad
you.
you're feeling better, bud.
Thank you.
Also with me tonight is the infamous Orc. What's going on, Orc?
What's up, players? Got my Pepsi Max. Drinking this shit like there ain't no tomorrow.
Well, if you keep drinking Pepsi Max the way you drink it, there will be no tomorrow for you. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. That's not nice to say. It's the holidays, man. What the fuck?
Oh, come on. But yeah, tonight we are concluding our special lead-up to the release of The Force Awakens. 2 weeks ago, we did a live commentary for Star Wars A New Hope. Last week, we did a live commentary for The Empire Strikes Back, and tonight we will be concluding the original Star Wars trilogy with a live commentary for Return of the Jedi. And I know a lot of people out there have already seen The Force Awakens. Have any of you guys been lucky enough to have seen The Force Awakens yet?
No, I mean, I was never really interested, so I can wait on it. But at the same time, I'm not going, since I know the whole fucking movie now, which I'm sure we'll get to, I'm even less interested. But I can wait for it. But I'm sure these guys, they were not really happy about certain events. I mean, this cover guy that I've done spoilers and reviews, but considering they're like hour-long videos, it's like, well, of course, there's spoilers. But out of the blue, these people will explain what I'm talking about. But it's kind of even I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't be
Stingray,
that.
I know you. Stingray, I know you had the entire movie spoiled for you as well. What happened?
It's well, I've gone out of my way. Like, I haven't even seen the trailers or anything. I saw the teaser trailer. That's the only thing I've seen from the movie. So, it was just a dumb Facebook thing. Somebody posted everything in a bunch of groups on Facebook, and unfortunately didn't stop reading when I should have. It was like a train wreck, man. I couldn't look away. It was, but yeah, one of those things. But it's some people, man. I just don't understand what you get out of that. But whatever.
So for you today, Jay will actually read verbatim.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
No spoilers. We promise, no spoilers here. If you're watching the show, don't spoil anything for anybody. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. Come on.
People say
if you're lucky enough to have seen the film early, don't run around spoiling it for everybody. Come on.
People say, what is it, a week? Is that enough? 2 weeks? Whatever. The movie's not even out yet. It's out today. Like, where I am, it's the first day you can watch the damn thing, and I saw the spoilers 2 days ago.
I can understand if you're excited in conversation and you accidentally do it, but to purposely, from what I understand, say to purposely fuck y'all and good night.
It's good that there's people with less of a life than me, because I didn't think that was possible. But there's people who just live for spoiling games and movies, and I was like, why? It's like that annoying kid in high school,
Well, I've purposefully tried to avoid pretty much the internet in general. But like even Rambo was saying before the show, somebody made their YouTube name a spoiler and posted a comment on one of his videos. So how do you avoid that? There's no avoiding that.
And they had a picture of a spoiler as well for their.
Oh my God!
What you call?
Someone else. I saw this. It was a picture of a woman's ass, and then it was a GIF, and you saw the ass, and then it flashed the spoiler on top of the ass. That's tricky, man. That's a tricky one.
That's dedication.
They got me on that one. They did get me.
So I have purposefully tried to avoid Facebook, Twitter. When I've had to get on Facebook and Twitter, I'm very cautious. Very cautious. I don't want any spoilers. But what this has made me do, I wanted to, wait until at least the crowds died down a little bit. I'm going to have to go out and watch it sooner than I wanted to, or in fear of just the whole thing being spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I underestimated my friends list not being full of assholes, but I've weeded some of those fellows out and don't have to deal with them ever again. So.
It's shit like that makes you think, maybe the internet was not such a good idea.
Or some people are like, you should take a psychological exam, before you need to be cleared to be able to operate the internet. You know,
we need an internet license.
Exactly.
You will not go to this website. I could have fucked myself real bad right there, but just not going to say anything.
It's not like I'm reading articles or reviews or anything. I'm staying away from all that. It's just avoid the internet altogether.
Me too, absolutely. Yeah, I don't even want to watch a review that is quote unquote spoiler free because they're going to give away plot, and I don't want to know any. I don't want to know. Just don't want to know.
And just by talking about it, you're still going to get spoil it. Just even there's no way not to.
Exactly.
Right.
So just don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. This is a spoiler-free zone here on the Sausage Factory, so.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. So give the gift of not being a douchebag to everybody. Just take a break.
Right. So like in 3 weeks when we do our show where we just talk about The Force Awakens, even then, I think we'll try and keep it as spoiler-free as possible for people who, for one reason or another, still haven't seen the movie, or are some of those people who just are waiting for it to come on DVD and Blu-ray. Because there's a lot of people out there who probably love the movies, just don't want to go to the theater and watch it. They watch it in their home.
It also kind of sucks that they released it so close to Christmas, because that really screws up a lot of people. There's people who have a lot of family obligations. Sometimes they have jobs that have to celebrate Christmas early or something, and that's just kind of really awkward time.
Yeah.
Has it been crazy where you are, Mike? Have you seen a lot of big crowds and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think we've had here in Kentucky. We've had, I think, 3 fatal car crashes over the course of the past. At least 2 of them I think were fatal. And there was one today. I was actually out doing some late Christmas shopping myself, and on the interstate I was in gridlock traffic or just a standstill for I don't know how long because of a serious car accident. So I mean, people are out, people are trying to get that last minute shopping done. They're driving crazy, they're acting crazy, and it's just a mess.
I have to put up with normal city traffic, and then there's the holiday traffic, and then there's the extra theme park traffic, and there's all kinds of shit going out at the theme parks. I think Ice Cube and Kevin Hart were out at Universal today promoting one of their movies and hanging out with people and riding on roller coasters and stuff. I mean,
hey Mike, Gator Crossing too.
But yeah, traffic sucks.
Yeah. So
they must be promoting ride along too.
And there's a lot of people that I'm not going out to the theater, and deal with all that bullshit and the overcrowding, and I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah. I want to wait at least until a matinee next week sometime, where I can kind of sneak in and watch it and enjoy myself and not be surrounded by people, texting and chewing tobacco and having sex and preparing, so
you're having sex in a Star Wars movie, you're having to work at it, man.
Hey, why not?
That is a packed house.
I'm not going to be able to see it until the day before New Year's Eve, so it'll be a week from this coming Wednesday, so I'm trying to avoid anything until then. That's really hard.
You should. Yeah, you need to go internet dark. Can you survive without the internet until then, Mike?
Going dark.
I'm going to wait until, the day before we do our show, I think. As long as I possibly can.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if you guys want to communicate with us during the show, tell us your favorite Return of the Jedi moments, your favorite Star Wars moments, anything to that effect. Ask us questions, comments. You can do so via Twitter at TSF Nation. That link is in the description, or come over to the website, thesausagefactoryshow.com. Join us in the live chat over there. That link is also in the description. If you guys are interested in watching the film with us in real time, we have our copy of Return of the Jedi, all of us queued up at 0.00 at the very beginning, pre-title, very beginning of the movie. So we'll give you guys a few minutes to queue up your copy of Return of the Jedi. And I think we're all watching the special editions tonight. So I know we've had some concerns over which edition we're watching, but I think we're all watching the special editions today. So, so while you guys are doing that, let me ask you guys, how's your holidays going? Have you seen any good movies lately?
To be honest, I probably have been avoiding movies. I've just been burned out, so it's either been playing old PS2 games or watching old wrestling. Just going back and seeing all the old ones I didn't see. Like the last one I saw was SummerSlam '88.
Wow.
The first appearance of the Big Boss Man.
Have you ever taken a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia?
I love the Boss Man. I miss that guy. So
yeah,
I've been watching that, and some interesting news I heard recently that apparently they found the footage for the director's cut of The Exorcist 3, and they're actually going to make a Blu-ray of that.
Yeah, I actually heard. Yeah, I heard that too. That'll be really cool. Like I really like The Exorcist 3 just by itself.
Yeah.
But the fact that they found because I mean that movie, like the ending is different. Like he had to tack on an actual exorcism in the film.
Which I think is the biggest part of the movie.
That is exactly. But yeah, I would love to see his director's cut of Exorcist 3. I think that'd be awesome.
So that's pretty.
That would be awesome. Yeah. What about you, Stingray? How's your holiday season going?
Pretty good, man. Kind of like Rambo, I haven't been watching as much stuff as usual for some reason, but I saw Knock Knock the other day.
How was that?
The new Eli Roth film.
Yeah.
It was okay. I wouldn't really recommend going to check it out or anything, but
is it good on a bad movie level? Because I've heard it's like awesome, it's so bad it's good.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. It's two really attractive women that are scantily clad throughout the entire film, and one of them's actually his wife, which I thought was kind of weird, but yeah, it's worth it for that, but I wouldn't really. And it's nice to see Keanu Reeves do something a little bit different. I'm a big fan of Keanu, so that's mainly why I wanted to check it out. But
we got John Wick 2 coming out sometime soon, so that's something to look forward to. So. And Keanu Reeves is like 80 years old. That guy does not age. That guy's not aged at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to like bottle it and sell it because people would buy it. He does not age. Does not age.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for that dude too. He's a really, really down to earth guy.
And considering all the shit he's been through in his life, it's a wonder he's not dead or strung out
or kill himself.
Yeah,
he seems like a really good guy. That's true.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
and yeah, apparently Lawrence Fishburne will also be in John Wick 2. So kind of like a Matrix reunion, which is pretty cool.
Ah, yeah, that's cool. What about you, Mike? How's your holiday season going?
It's been busy but good. Like these guys, I haven't really had a whole lot of time. I'll sit down, I'm going to watch a movie, and then something will happen, and then I won't get a chance to, and it's just one of those type of things. But I talked about Krampus last week. I saw that, and I really enjoyed it. Upon further review, I still enjoyed it for what it was. I saw your review, and I thought it was a really, really good review. It's Christmas Vacation, definitely with the characters, but Tales from the Dark Side style. And I guess the Gremlins thing was basically, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but something happens in the kitchen, and
right.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe what gave it a little bit of a Gremlins nod, but not a total steal or whatever. But saw Bad Santa today. That's one of my favorites. But there's so many cuts of that film. There's like the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and the unrated version.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched the director's cut, but I've normally gotten used to watching the unrated cut because it has extra scenes in it that actually build the characters, and it has more of a story to it rather than just crude moments. It seems to me like the other one's just kind of, it's really. I watched it today. I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff missing. It's not as good without it, but I love that movie. It's hilarious. You pissed yourself.
There's multiple, but there's like Bad Santa, Badder Santa, the director's cut Bad Santa. It's like, which one? Yeah.
The unrated is the one it's the longest. It has the most character development. I think it's overall the best.
Yeah.
You're not going to shit right for a week.
John Ritter. I think that was one of his last movies. He's amazing, and it is the prudish mall manager who always who's that comedian that Bernie Mac. He plays the head of security. So many good scenes and actors in that movie. It just cracks me up.
I love that part when he's like, do something with the kid. He's like, look at him, he's a fucking faggot.
Very, very PC.
Yeah, very NPC. Yeah, I love it. I love the part where like the guy walks up to him and he's like, "I'm not gay." And he's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, my daddy did not die in Vietnam. He's like a Mexican guy. He's like, my daddy didn't die in Vietnam. What are you talking about? That movie just kills it. It's hilarious. Yeah. What about you, Ork? How's your holiday season going?
Pretty good. I forgot about that. How epic that movie was, but yeah, things were kind of rough when I saw that movie, but it made me laugh my ass off. But 3 movies I want to see before, I guess, the end of the holiday season: Die Hard Before Christmas, and then I want to try and get to see the new Star Wars and Hateful Eight, eventually, but we'll see.
What's the what's all the drama with Quentin Tarantino and Disney over his movie?
From what I read, he had a deal with a specific theater to show his movie in 70 millimeter on Christmas Day, and Star Wars production people, whoever that goes out and sells the film, they strong-armed the theater into showing Star Wars exclusively, and basically fucked over Tarantino when he had this theater already booked. Disney came in and said, "Fuck you, we're taking the whole thing."
Yeah.
And he's kind of pissed.
Wow.
Seems like some good PR for him, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does,
all over the headlines.
Mickey Mouse has got balls, man. Mickey Mouse has got balls.
Mickey Mouse has got money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
I'm fucking rich.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I just saw all these pictures of Tarantino making crazy faces. They're trying to destroy me and stuff like that. It's like, okay, all right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Hateful Eight too. Anything Tarantino, I'm going to look forward to. So, have any of you guys seen the? I don't know. Is anybody here interested in the Batman vs Superman movie? Do any of you guys have any interest in seeing it next summer?
I had this much interest, and then when I saw the trailer, it went even below that. I don't. Are we allowed to spoil what was in the trailer? Or?
Are you talking about the last trailer they released?
Yeah. The newest one.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, talk. Yeah, go ahead. The trailer is a spoiler. The trailer spoils the movie.
Yeah. Why Doomsday? Why is Zod's Day? I don't get that. You're wasting a great villain in a movie that's already Batman, Superman, Aquaman, some other man, Wonder Woman.
Well, why are you blowing your load so early? That's the main one.
And then a PR guy said, "Oh, by the way, Doomsday, that's not the final act. There's a bigger evil." I'm like, "There's more? You already got Batman, Superman fighting. You already got Aquaman's got to be in there. Wonder Woman's got to be in there. Doomsday, and then they're fighting something else. Is this 4 hours long?"
The teaser I liked. The first trailer they did, I really liked. This trailer was really bad, and I mean just bad dialogue, bad acting. And then they throw out. I mean, basically, I had no. I understood. Probably the first couple of acts will be Batman and Superman the actual fight scene is going to be probably 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. And then they'll come together to face the common foe of Lex Luthor. So, I mean, I understood that's probably what was going to happen. And Wonder Woman's whole role there is just to bring those two together and be like, look, can't you two, you two stupid, stubborn men, can't you just put your differences aside and blah, blah, blah. But that trailer was just really bad. And I think that trailer is a more accurate, probably, depiction of what the movie is going to be like as opposed to the first two trailers. But when they showed Doomsday, I was like, oh, Doomsday is Superman's Joker to Batman. Doomsday is Superman's ultimate arch nemesis because Doomsday is the guy who killed Superman in the comics. And he's basically going to be an afterthought in this movie who's going to show up in the third act to be the villain. They'll kill him, and it'll be over. And it's like, wow.
And then a guy who's behind the scenes of the movie said that Doomsday isn't the final. That's not the final act. There's a, quote, bigger threat. And I'm like, so wait a minute, Doomsday is not even the big threat? And then why are you taking from Zod? Like, why do we need... I don't understand why they're... Whatever.
I don't know. I haven't really enjoyed the last couple of Superman films, and I haven't really enjoyed some of the last of the Batman films. So when I see this trailer, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's a continuation of what I already don't like. It's, I guess it's better than some other subject that I would completely be uninterested in, but it's not something that I would rush out to see. It's definitely it definitely doesn't look as good as like Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah. I think that trailer really did him harm because I mean I was on board and now I'm just kind of like I don't because it seems way too, I don't know. I mean, they've more or less spoiled it. And like I said, I didn't think it was going to be 2 hours of them fighting, but still, I feel like they've spoiled the movie. And
I can't be too critical though, because
yeah.
I like stuff like The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So I'll probably get it and watch it and own it, and it'll probably be bad but enjoyable on some level. Like I don't know, a lot of people hate Batman and Robin, but I can enjoy it on different levels. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's been documented on this channel. Your love for Batman and Robin, multiple occasions.
And Jesse Eisenberg, I do not like him at all. I'm not a fan of Jesse Eisenberg, and his performance, whether he's Lex's son or whatever, would irritate the hell out of me. But to me, he's played the same role. He's like Michael Cera's twin, and he's just annoying. And I'm like, why are you choosing this? Like, what if it was someone like Bryan Cranston as Lex, or even Kevin Spacey when he played Lex? But you get some. He's just annoying. Just that the red ropes, whatever, the red coats are coming, and he's like slapping, like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, that.
Yeah, I don't understand the delivery, because he's like, so the redcoats are coming, and like he's talking like, almost like he's trying to imitate Christopher Walken in a sense or something. Like I don't know, I don't get it.
It seems like it's Jim Carrey, the Riddler, from Batman Forever, like Edward Nygma, almost that kind of energy, almost like when he was getting up to Bruce Wayne, Val Kilmer's like, yeah, he even has the long hair before Jim Carrey turned into the Riddler, and all he needs is like glasses, and it's kind of like, I don't know what. I guess he's comedy. Is that the comedy aspect? So we're not too grim. Look how silly I am, and
I mean, maybe it's all part of the character development. We're just taking it out of context. I'm just speculating.
But then they did tell it bad in the trailer, if that's the case.
Yeah.
They're not doing any positive notes with their marketing. If they're doing it that way.
I could be wrong, but didn't they recut that trailer like for the Japanese or some other audience that there's supposed to be a better trailer? Someone posted a few days after they said this is the better version of that trailer or whatever. So I think they realized they did a bad job and redid it.
Well, I know there was I think it was an Asian trailer for The Force Awakens, which had a bunch of spoilers in it. Did you guys hear about that? They were like, don't watch this trailer. I don't even remember what Asian country it was in. It was like, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this trailer. I'm like, they're spoiling stuff in a trailer? That's crazy. For a movie like that, of course. But,
yeah.
So.
Whatever happened to being vague in trailers, dude? I don't know. That's a big pet peeve of mine is trailers these days. I just don't get it.
I think they're just so desperate to get them on the theater. They're desperate to give you any shiny trinket. Like, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just like, I mean, for me personally, I wasn't even a fan of Man of Steel, and so I wasn't interested in the movie. But then when I watched this movie, I go, that's the movie. I don't care if they add something at the end. Like, what's going to be bigger than Doomsday? Like, okay, there's a bigger villain Doomsday. Was Jesse Eisenberg and a big robot? I mean,
yeah.
Doomsday is. It just that's my favorite Superman story, and I thought
mine too.
That's such a stupid choice.
And like you said, how long is this freaking movie? Are we going to have to sit there with 3.5 hour superhero movie? I mean, come on, my God.
It's Zack Snyder, right? So
yeah.
Watchmen's like 6 hours long, so.
Well, I love Watchmen, and I liked Man of Steel, but I don't know.
And like, is Green Lantern going to be in this? Or are they putting other people? Like, if Aquaman and Wonder Woman, are they going to put all these other people in there?
Well, this is supposed to be the segue from. This is supposed to segue into their Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is supposed to segue into their Justice League movie, and they're supposed to be doing a separate a Batman movie and a separate Superman movie too.
They need to speed that shit up, man, because I think superheroes are not going to be cool anymore much longer. They're already.
Yeah, they're
they're spinning their wheels now.
That's true.
It's pretty interesting. Like, this year had a lot of franchises that I liked and cared about, and tons of movies got released. Next year, there's a bunch of superhero movies, like usual, but really the big two are Batman vs. Superman and Captain America. What's the title?
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War, yeah.
And I mean, other than that, I'm trying to think of like other big franchises that have sequels or like reboots coming out, and I can't think of many.
Guardians.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, Independence Day 2.
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek Beyond.
Well, like that compared to like Terminator and Jurassic Park, it's just not on the same level. Like, I'll go to the movies. It's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm not watching anything new this year. But just it seems like kind of compared to this year, not as epic. You know.
Well, I think people are thinking that Jurassic World this year is going to be Independence Day next year because there were films in the '90s that were big, and now they're getting sequels, reboots.
What did you guys think about that trailer?
The Goldblum's back, but
It has the color scheme of a Michael Bay movie,
Yeah.
and I've seen that it looks like a Michael Bay movie produced. And my problem with the Independence Day sequel, I never was interested because from '96 when that came out to now, there have been literally dozens upon dozens of alien invasion films, from Transformers films like Transformers 3 to War of the Worlds from Steven Spielberg, Skyline, Battle Los Angeles, so many, even Man of Steel and the Avengers had alien invasion and entire cities blown up. And it just, go ahead.
And none of those are any good. That's what I was going to say. Those all suck. I haven't seen Man of Steel, but all the other ones you mentioned.
Well, I like some of them, but it's just, I don't see the point of it. And obviously Will Smith's not going to be in it, and I know they're going to kill his character off because he wanted to do Suicide Squad instead. And I don't see I mean, obviously they're going for the Jurassic World money because that was the biggest hit of all time, Jurassic World. For me personally, I'm like, okay, it's now bigger ships, and it's what's going to be opposite from Independence Day or Star Wars or anything else. I just don't see the point.
It looks like they're going really dark with it. That's the only thing that kind of interests me a little bit. If that's the case, I'm all about it. But like you said, it looks very Michael Bay-esque.
I don't know. I enjoyed the first one, so I'd be interested in watching it just for that reason. But the first one wasn't great, so I don't expect great things out of this one. But it was entertaining, so I don't know. With killing off Will Smith's character, that might be a negative, but who knows?
Well, let's not forget we got the Point Break remake coming out soon.
Oh boy.
We can
remakes.
There was a film crying out to be remade right there.
Well, I guess I have to ask you guys. I don't know. We talked about Ghostbusters. Yay, nay, don't
I have
care.
no interest in that.
I have no interest.
I have no interest in it. I have no interest in it, and it's not because there's a female cast.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you say you're not interested, then you're misogynistic, and it's like there's more to it than that.
Exactly.
Way more to it than that.
It's way more to it. Yeah.
I mean,
I look at the new Star Wars film though. They brought back some original cast members, so that makes you it's a sequel to something I enjoy. It's a sequel to the movie we're getting ready to watch tonight. So that makes you want to see it. So if Ghostbusters had that same, it's a sequel to the original with the original cast members in it, then that would be something I would be interested in. It has nothing to do with, I don't care who the cast is. If it's not who I want, then I'm not interested in watching it.
It's like, do you want to see Ghostbusters with a bridesmaid theme? Like, no, I don't.
No, that's
Uninterested.
Bad director choice.
I mean, I realized that Ghostbusters basically died with Harold Ramis, because that was like Bill Murray and him were fighting since Groundhog Day, and they didn't get along, and it wasn't until he was on his deathbed that they actually made up and became friends again. But unfortunately, also his death, that's why Murray didn't want to do Ghostbusters 3, was because Harold was gone.
But then he'll do a cameo for this movie.
Yeah, it's a.
So
well, I mean, I'm sure they paid him a lot of money. I'm sure he got paid a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Because it says like the budget's like $155 million.
Yeah, 55 of that went to Bill Murray. 55 of that went to Murray.
Well, isn't Dan Aykroyd involved in the development of the film? I think I was sad to hear that he was actually.
I know he's in it.
He's endorsed it. I know that.
Yeah.
All those dudes have said it's gonna be the shit that killed Elvis.
I don't know. I just don't think it. I just don't think it needed to happen. And again, not to be sexist, not to be misogynistic.
Right.
There's a million reasons why I don't want to see it, and at the very not even on the list is the fact that it's an all-female cast. I like Kristen Wiig. I think Kristen Wiig is funny.
Yeah.
The other chick that was like, she was the toast of the town for a while in all these comedies. I don't think she's funny at all, but whatever.
Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss McCarthy.
I actually have enjoyed her in a couple of films, but she's a one-note, one-trick pony. She's just got one note, and that's what she does. The screaming crazy lady, But she, and it's funny for a while, but I just don't see how that's going to fit into Ghostbusters. It's just that style. It had nothing to do with her, that she's female. It's her acting style. I just don't.
I mean, if they wanted to do a female comedy, kind of like what Orc's saying over here, I mean, why do you have to pick a franchise like that to do it with? I mean, it's because from the very first day they said this is going to be with females. That's the part that pisses me off. Is like, why are you taking a formula and turning it on its head just to do it? I mean, if you had casted people and the females worked out to be the best, people for the job, that's fine. But don't start from day one saying I'm going to cast an all-female Ghostbusters. It's bullshit.
Exactly, because you're not hiring the actor to fit the material. You're writing the material to fit the actor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and let's get into the commentary at hand here. Return of the Jedi. Again, if you guys want to communicate with us during the show, tell us your favorite Star Wars moments, your favorite Return of the Jedi moments. If you wanted to discuss with us anything that we've talked about up to this point in the show, please feel free to do so either by tweeting at us at TSF Nation or join us in the live chat.
All right.
Sorry to mute my microphone. That was a big sneeze. Come over to the SausageFactoryShow.com website. Join us in the live chat over there. Those links are in the description. Come over, join us. Let's talk about everything Star Wars related. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the movie. I will count down from 5, and then we'll go from there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
I will admit, I always had a soft spot for this. Of course, it's always interesting that this actually came out the day I was born. May 25th. Yeah, May 25th, 1983. I believe this was released, and it was the day I was born. So maybe that's why I kind of have a soft spot for it.
That's awesome. I always had a soft spot for Return of the Jedi because I think this was the first one that I saw.
Okay.
I was actually given a VHS tape of this movie by, I don't know if you guys recall, but during our Stephen King episode, I talked about there was a friend of ours when I was a kid, and their son looked just like Nico Hughes from that movie. It used to freak me out. Well, it was this dude. He gave me this on VHS, and I remember watching it and digging it. So I also traded that dude an Atari 2700 and like 10 games for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on NES. So.
And I know it's redundant to say this because I'm sure everyone knows it, but of course the original title was Revenge of the Jedi.
Revenge of the Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
But Lucas felt like Jedis don't take revenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and not be too harsh to this film because I do enjoy it, but this is kind of where Star Wars started going off the rails for me.
Because of the Ewoks?
Yeah, for what we were promised. I don't know, it just starts getting awkward.
Well,
hopefully I'll be able to point out a few things about what I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it, but it was a disappointment after Empire.
Well, explain.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what were you saying, Rambo?
No, I say it's a weird director choice because I don't know who this guy Richard Marquand is. I think he's no longer with us, but what else has he done? I know at one point he actually wanted like David Lynch or someone to do this movie,
That would have been cool.
and
Okay,
I don't know if it's because he liked Dune or something, which I still haven't seen that movie yet. But Richard Marquand, I'm like, what did he do before or since? I never even
I think he
knew the
was
guy.
George Lucas's coke dealer, I believe.
That's how you get in. That's how you get in the business.
Get your foot in the door.
He had that good stuff.
And I'm sure he wanted like Spielberg to do one of these, but he probably said no. But
They should have. That would have been interesting.
But it's like, who's Richard Marquand? Like that was always the question. I'm like, who is that guy? How did he come into play? What did he do afterward? I mean, maybe that's a reason.
Yeah.
But sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to ask Mike if he could elaborate on what. Can you put your finger on what the awkwardness is that kind of put you off to Return of the Jedi?
The way it was written, I guess. There's like, I don't know what's going to be coming up, but when they go to Jabba's palace to break Han out, the whole plan seems really weak. And he's a Jedi, he goes in there, but he's got his lightsaber. Yeah, and just the whole turn of events is just, how would he know he's going to end up at the Sarlacc pit right at this point where he can get this to that, and then Boba Fett's weak death, and there's little things like that. I mean, I enjoy the film overall, but we were promised a planet of Wookiees that we got later poorly represented in the prequels. But that was the original thought, was that they were going to go to Chewbacca's home planet, and it would be rebellion with an army of Wookiees fighting against Vader and his. Now that sounded cool. That's what we wanted to see.
But you got a planet full of Ewoks. You got a planet full of Ewoks. And they're just as good. They're just as good.
They're cuter. They're
Man,
so much cuter.
Hey man, it's like Vietnam. It's little because big technology, little.
And even though the first one, special edition, did have a lot of very bad moments in it that they added in, like Jabba the Hutt and all the little background things that didn't need to be there, this one really has a couple of scenes that just piss me off. And one of them, of course, is No. When he No.
I think everybody hates that.
Yeah.
And then when they replaced Anakin Skywalker's ghost with Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's still acting.
They didn't put Ewan McGregor over Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's in
Now, had
this
they
version?
done that, it might have fit, but it still would have been stupid.
See, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't watched Jedi since then. It's been that long.
Well, you're gonna see it at the end. But I've actually heard that is more of George Lucas's hatred for the guy who played Vader more than his love for Hayden Christensen. Something about that dude. That was the dude who, and I think Rahu talked about this last week. He was the guy who they didn't give him the entire script, so he didn't even know he was Luke's father during that scene. He said something else. But apparently this dude's just been kind of, he's pissed off George Lucas time and time again. So I think that's more why than any love for Hayden Christensen.
No. The fans do not like Hayden Christensen.
No. And talk about adding in unnecessary creatures. This whole Jabba thing, it was annoying as it was. And then they added a whole bunch more annoying bullshit in there and bad CGI. I don't know. There's just several times in this movie it makes me groan.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing I know people mention. Well, you gotta stop complaining about CGI, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Best character of the whole entire franchise is coming up, Max Rebo. Let's go, baby.
It doesn't matter if the effect is practical or digital. If it doesn't look real and it doesn't look like it belongs in the universe of the movie, then it's a bad effect.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes you out of it.
I agree.
Yep.
You're supposed to be getting into it.
Takes me out of it.
I always liked that dude. I thought that dude was cool.
Oh man, she's hot.
I'd hit that 10 out of 10.
That's a she?
Willy Wonka.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is. I just always thought that tentacle or whatever it was coming out of his head and wrapping around him was cool.
I can't wait for the future, to finally get here. Like, have R2-D2 like a robot like him bring me sodas. That's gonna be so epic. R2, go to the fridge.
So you want a slave? That's what you say.
Yeah.
The Jabba puppet, though, still looks good, and in HD it looks really good. I think they did a great job on that. So much better than that CGI crap in the first one.
Awful.
I mean, how could he look at that and approve it? I mean,
Especially now, when he's redoing and he finally has a chance to take that shit out. Because it looks so stupid, and...
I have to think it's some type of ego. Just
Yeah.
he doesn't want to give in. He's like, these are mine. Deal with it.
Of course, when I saw this in the theater, I was 14, almost 15, so I really appreciated the bikini.
Well, I was going to ask you, Mike, how amped were you?
Oh, I was
going into this
stoked.
movie? And how many? I mean, how? Do you remember how long it was from when they announced the movie and the release date to when you actually saw it?
I think it was about a year.
Oh wow! So you waited in anticipation for a year.
Yeah, they started pumping out the previews, the summer before, and getting you excited for it, of course. And back then, still that was the very early stages of the VHS era. Betamax was still alive. Movies still still cost $100 to own. So it was really hard to get your favorite films and see them all the time. So it was going to the movie was really a special event. I kind of miss that about that, because even now today I got to experience it. I know what that's like, but when I go to a film and watch it in the theater, it doesn't feel as special to me as it used to, because I've got a film collection behind me. I've got Netflix. It's like, it's kind of a shame, really, but it's happening to me too.
To go off what Mike's saying, it's just so weird that people won't, okay, call me a nostalgia fag or whatever you want, but that kids growing up today won't have that video store feeling being around. I don't know. It's just weird.
Right.
That was like a thing.
I think it really changes the way you look at things when you can't just have everything at your fingertips, Because now you've got an unlimited, amount of shit you can watch that they don't have any idea of to appreciate things.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when this film came out, my how I got data was I went to the Encyclopedia Britannica set that was in the front room, and I went to the letter and opened it up and started looking. That was the internet for me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
You had to put out effort. It wasn't as easy, and it was kind of more of a reward when you accomplished something. I think. I think that's kind of taken for granted because things are so easy now.
Remember, guys, if you give $3 to Wikipedia, this will be over.
I see that about 3 times a day now.
No, they're torturing a droid. When did they get nerve endings?
Well, I guess I don't know. For teens.
And what kind of medieval bullshit are they doing to this other guy?
Well, they're
What kind of sick
actually.
fucks are these guys?
It feels good to them. This is that part of Jabba's place that.
Yeah, but that's that's about being about as badass as a guy that can rip a beer can in half. Oh, I'm tough. You're pulling apart a robot.
Well, they got behind this. They'd be part of a college camp.
Look at that.
I could see that warthog ripping a beer can, guzzling down.
Well, I was going to add to what you were saying, Mike, too, is that there's like an immediacy to owning movies or to being like, well, if I want to watch a movie, I just jump on Netflix and a couple of clicks and there it is. Back in the day, you had to actually leave your house and go to the video store to rent it. And I think I watched more movies, renting them than I do. Like I used to rent Halloween 4 and 5 together all the time. Now I own them on 3 different editions, you know. And I seldom watch them anymore. So I mean, I think there's an immediacy to it as well. Having it all at your fingertips, it kind of lessens the value of it. It's like I'm too lazy to walk over there and pull it off the shelf. But you know, just a few years ago, I'd be stoked to go to the video store and get it. You know.
Like in the musical gear world, guitar amps, some of the modeling amps that have like 14,000 different presets that you can dick with, you just get lost in it to where you just give up, because it's kind of like when you're looking through your Netflix queue. You're like, do I want to watch it? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Too many choices, man. Too many choices.
You look around for an hour and like, fuck it, I'm tired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the first time I'm seeing this stuff.
Really?
Oh, that's horrible.
I don't.
Yeah, it's out of place.
Oh, God.
It
looks like
really,
a cartoon.
Really bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
Especially when it's right next to real puppetry. It just... It doesn't fit.
No, everybody talks about Leia's bikini, but nobody ever talks about you get to see those green chick's tits.
Well, that's a good point.
There's one right
Oh
there.
boy, Max Rebo.
And
We can see Jabba's big.
So the green
Awful-looking
dancing
dog.
chick there, she's all new, right? She wasn't in the original.
No, she was in.
She was in the original.
yeah, this part is, when she's in the pit. It's just that CGI...
That little fuzzy critter jumping around singing, he wasn't in the original.
CGI Moulin Rouge thing.
Jabba's little whatever those things are.
This whole plan of having them come in at individual times do a certain thing just to have luck be the thing that...
Well, I figured it was... He was coming in to say something, and then I guess he thought R2-D2 would be there. I mean, I can see what you mean. Maybe could have thought out a little bit more, but...
Maybe he thought that the Jedi mind trick would work on Jabba, and he wasn't prepared for it not to.
Or that R2-D2 would be right there, like C-3PO is, just he has the lightsaber. So he just pop it up, but then he fell through the trap door and went from there, so he had to, what's that called, improvise.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, is that improvisation, skin of the teeth, like a lot of the adventure films, even back in the day, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, those improvised skin from your teeth. And the thing with Boba Fett is that Boba Fett was a nobody at this point. I mean, he had like 2 scenes in Empire which he like followed a ship. So I think that's why they're like, oh, well, let's kill him because who cares? Because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I just think it was his costume, his outfit. He was like the silent hitman type of gunfighter type of guy, mysterious. I don't know.
But did people know that at this time, or was that something they learned like years later, a decade later, when they look back on it?
No, he was just a cool bounty hunter. I mean, he didn't really have a reputation. He was just kind of one of the standout henchmen.
Yeah. When did do you recall when the love for Boba Fett really sort of took hold? Was it with Empire, or was it with this movie that really, you know?
He was always kind of a cult favorite. I think the love for him kind of really exploded with the prequels. I mean, that's really when I noticed it. I mean, he had always been a cult favorite of the hardcore fans, but he really exploded with the...
Sorry to cut you off. There's also a rap song called Fett's Vet by MC Chris, and that came out mid-2000s, like when I was in high school, and a lot of people know of that song, and it was pretty popular.
Whoa. Whoa. Some racist folks in the chat over here.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Which chat?
The TSF chat.
On the website, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't know where you guys are at.
On the website.
Lando Calrissian, where you see him for the first time?
Yeah.
Why the fuck did he pull down his mask other than to break the fourth wall? That has always bothered me. The only reason he pulled down his mask was to show us who he was. I don't know why
could
that
tell.
pisses me off.
I don't need him to pull his mask down.
It's just such a playing to the audience type of thing. It just always pissed me off.
I think he thought he saw a Colt 45, and he's like, is that a Colt 45?
I need to apologize. I need to apologize to everyone out there because last week I promised to have a tall, cold Colt 45 with me tonight, and I totally forgot. So I let you guys down. I apologize.
It goes down smooth, baby.
Could it be that you were let down because the previous one was a darker film, this one was a lighter,
I imagine
more kid-friendly film?
Yeah, I mean,
Especially
this was, the Empire was so dark even compared to the first one.
Then maybe you thought
this
the
was
third
almost
one
like a
would be the
Muppet movie.
darkest? Did you think maybe the third one, oh man, this is going to be the darkest one because it's the finale and it's going to be...
Yeah, it was kind of like, we're going to see some serious shit here. This is the finale. Everybody's in on it, the Wookiees, and it's going to be a throwdown.
Right.
The first two are better films. Sorry, shit, I cut you off again. Go ahead.
And then we got teddy bears throwing rocks at people and shit. I didn't.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy bears.
That would have been even cooler, especially if they were like possessed with evil spirits and shit, and their heads were spinning around. That would have been entertaining.
I watched that. A world of Teddy Ruxpins.
Now, I wonder if the idea of doing an all Wookiee planet was just too much for them to achieve at the time, or what? I mean, I wonder about that.
It may have been that, and I think it was also a little bit of, these films were always, in George's mind, children's films. And I think he didn't like the darkness of Empire.
Yeah,
so he purposefully lightened this one up because, he wanted to take it more in that kiddie direction.
Yeah, I've heard that. Isn't Empire his least favorite?
Yep.
Okay.
I think we can all agree this is an inferior film to Empire.
Good, but not great.
At least that's the way I feel.
Well, I mean, like I said, I have a soft spot, so this is actually my second favorite after the first one. But again, I didn't, like I said in the first Star Wars, I didn't grow up as much as you guys did with Star Wars. Like, I saw them as kids, but I guess at this point I was watching Rambo, too, and stuff. So
Right.
That's another thing. By this time, I was already watching Friday the 13th and Halloween and all those films, and then I go see this, and after Empire being dark, so this was even more of a shock.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the way Mike saw them when they first came out all in the theater, I saw the re-releases because I was that age. I was like almost a teenager, 11, 12, and then the re-releases came out right before all the prequels. So those were my first time seeing the movies for the most part.
That's cool.
And I agree with Mike too. I mean, my genre of choice as a kid was the same as it is now. It's horror. So I mean, I was I was renting Friday the 13th and Halloween and those movies a lot more than I was anything else, and watching them a lot more than a Star Wars film.
I think when I was a kid, if like John Claude Van Damme popped up and started 360 kids, I'm like, yeah, best movie ever. But,
same for me.
Horror
and action.
Yeah. I think also maybe this is a soft spot for me because that's my favorite moment of the three films in it, which is in the climax. It's the lightsaber duel with that music. That was always the one scene that always struck with me when I was a kid. I just always liked how that played out.
There are some, great moments, but...
Yeah, I can perfectly understand what you mean, especially when you saw this when you were a kid, right off the bat, and it's like, okay, we got, oh shit, he got his hand cut off to Muppets.
Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it, and I came out of the theater and everybody was happy and talking about it. It wasn't like we walked out bitching or whatever, but it was just kind of like, it was great, but wasn't as good as the last one. Hopefully the next one's better, And it wasn't.
Well, and I mean, at least George Lucas didn't insert a all CGI Wookiee planet in a special edition, so.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Man, Han Solo looks like he's aged 20 years since that last movie.
He's been in that stuff, man.
He's been living right, man.
Oh, they were all enjoying it.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he was also doubling up as Indiana Jones by this time, so he was shooting epic after epic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Putting up some Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Oh, you bet. I
And that's
guarantee
he probably hadn't slept, and I haven't slept in like 14 weeks. Oh, and they put this. Oh, they put that guy in there. Oh.
it.
But it was okay because then it was followed by a shot of Princess Leia in her bikini, so it was kind of like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind you. I see what you're talking about.
There's a lot of oh shit. Because that's what I mean. If you don't redo something, don't go backwards. I thought that'd be apparent.
Improve what's already there. You don't really need to add anything else. If you want to take CGI and smooth over some of the wrinkles, that's fine. But wow, what he did is...
Need to get Jabba a Mucinex or something, don't we?
For real.
It was always one of those things like, what was he really planning to do with Leia in a bikini outfit? It's just kind of weird when you think about it.
I don't know. With Jabba, I think he's just trying to humiliate her because she was a princess. So if he used her as like a decoration, that would be like the worst kind of humiliation he could do.
Piz, I know this is your favorite part. Put your hands where I can see them.
Handshake.
Here. Sure, there were a lot of kids who rented this movie back in the day, and that this sequence, all this with her in the bikini was like, I feel weird.
Well, you know,
weird.
she refused to wear tit tape, so I'd like to see the outtakes that didn't make the film.
There you go.
My jeans are tight. What's happening? It tangles in my bathing suit area.
Even though this thing's stop motion, I still think they did a pretty good job. And I think they cleaned it up nicely, too, because there were a couple of shots in the original where you could kind of see the outlining, and the lighting didn't match up.
This is what Jay looks like when he hasn't had his coffee.
I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah, I'm the same way without caffeine.
Yeah, the creature looks really good.
Yeah.
They did clean it up nicely. If they could have just stopped him.
It's like we're talking about a drug addict. He just stopped.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just drunk on power.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I want to throw a dumbass gizmo in there, I will.
The one guy he needed by his side at all time was that just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Rethink
When was
this.
Spielberg to talk him down?
Yeah,
You know?
really.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I read somewhere recently that like Universal was seriously considering doing a Jaws remake, and Spielberg said, "No, you're not," and they're not now. So,
Well, he owns like a shitload of stock in Universal. He has a voice. He gets it gets part of the action from the theme parks. I read what when he signed a deal with them in like the 90s. He gets like 50%. He's not stupid.
Good, because I couldn't fucking handle the backlash that people would have for a remake of Jaws. Oh my god, it's so boring. Holy shit, fucking... It's not scary at all. No, shut up.
Oh, you mean the backlash on the original?
Yeah, no, of it being remade and it not being scary because it's just a shark, you know, like.
Oh, I'd be one of them, honestly. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing this for? Just watch Deep Blue Sea, or some shit.
Now the shark would have to like come to your house and like kill your mom or something. Be able to step it up a notch.
Probably try 3D again with some bullshit CGI.
Yeah.
I mean, when the movie like Ghost Shark was made, you can't do anything more with a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Ghost Shark.
It's been done.
Sharknado.
Dude, I didn't know how many of those shitty movies there were for the most part until Cinemassacre. James did a video on all the shark like horror movies. There's like 50 of them at least, like ones that got major releases. I don't know.
I've been trying to find Ghost Shark. I still haven't seen that one.
Or like Sharks in Venice with Stephen Baldwin.
I saw
That
one where
sounds like a winner.
I don't know where you guys are at in this movie, but the big creature just got killed and his handler, trainer, was crying.
Yeah.
I always liked that scene. It could kind of humanize it. It's like, no matter how big and ugly it is, it's somebody's friend, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You killed my,
Skeletor
you killed my dog, man.
Skeletor consoled him. He raised it from a pup.
I remember when he ate his first pig man. Son of a bitch.
I'm so proud of him.
Maybe you guys talked about this on the Empire Strikes Back. I can't remember 100%, but if they had done a sequel after this, well, in the late, well, I guess it'd be mid or late 80s, are there any, would you have really looked forward to that looking back on it now? Or do you think there, I mean, obviously you have a new Star Wars now, but I guess, do you think it would have been even more interesting to see?
Well, I know Mike had mentioned that, he was like, okay, after this one, he was like, okay, when's the next one?
Yeah.
And, like it happened. So, was this the first three films, were they just not marketed as a trilogy? Or, do you remember how, I mean, was there any idea that there were a trilogy, like you'd have these three and then it'd be over?
No, it was just the first one. I mean, nobody had any expectations. Nobody wanted to show it in the theaters. Nobody was interested in it. They didn't think it was going to do anything. It was a surprise hit. It was one of those word-of-mouth type things. And then once it hit a certain dollar amount, that's when they were like, do you have any other ideas for this? And that's when George was like, yeah, I originally conceived it as a trilogy. Well, actually, it was 6 stories and started with however he did that. But he had always wanted to make a sequel, but he wasn't sure if he was going to be allowed to, but he ended up doing it. I think that was kind of, I don't know, like the original Star Wars had an ending, but then Empire didn't because it was a middle chapter. So it could have ended, but we were glad that it didn't. And when we got out of Jedi, we were convinced, just because how popular they were, how much money they were making, and they were popping them out every 3 years, we fully expected one in like 86 or 87.
Mm-hmm.
So when it didn't come out, that was kind of a bummer.
Or at least,
Did you
5 years
did
later.
Audiences did audiences know that it was a trilogy? Do you have any recollection of that? Did you know that it was going to be a trilogy, 3 movies, and then did they?
No, because we didn't know if they were going to continue or if he was going to start the prequels. We didn't know what, because he had told the middle. He had supposedly at one time there were 9 stories was the lore. The first 3 chapters, middle 3 chapters, and the last 3 chapters. I don't know if that was true or not. That may have been some bullshit he told somebody just to keep it going. But we didn't know what they were going to do. If they were going to continue the story, if they were going to go back and do an origin story. But we were told at the end of Jedi that it was the middle part of a larger story. So we didn't know what to expect. But I think the excitement for a younger original cast sequel would have been at more of a fever pitch at the end of the 80s than it is now, because you see these guys are in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I think a younger Han Solo, even in his 40s, would have been more exciting than what people are getting now.
I'm not even really looking forward to them being in the film. I think they're too old.
Yeah, they waited too long to bring him back, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think this creature here in the hole looks really stupid too.
I mean,
like how they enhanced it, quote unquote.
Oh, they added the
beak,
low shot before thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty much just the teeth or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I think there were some tentacles too, but they've added some tentacles too.
See, I saw the re-release in theaters, and that may have been the last time I've seen this movie. That was, 15 years ago?
I think it was 97 when they brought them out.
Oh, they were all 397? Okay.
Well, they released them. They started in 97. I don't know when they ended.
So basically, every time since then they've released another version, they've added a bunch of shit to it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like when it was first in '97, they didn't have the no, and then of course after they put that in at the end. And
I saw someone posted on Facebook earlier. It said someone should have told George that it's not like a scab. Stop picking at it.
Yeah.
Choke that motherfucker.
I always thought it was cool he died with his tongue out like that big nasty looking tongue.
It just says death rattle. I got the subtitles on.
Death rattle.
Hey, what does that sound like? Oh, that looks so stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
which part?
Where's the
Chopper
All
horrors.
the new shit that they added to this scene.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much all the new stuff they added to this scene.
I'll go with that, yeah. No. It's like Lando's weave is getting pretty fucked up in that battle.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm allergic to bad CGI. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the guns.
I'm not
No
looking at the
complaints
guns.
in that department.
Hell no. I guess, and I don't want to pick on anybody because getting old is not easy for anybody. But when you live a really hard lifestyle, you tend to age a little more aggressively than maybe other people. And to see Princess Leia in this movie, and then to see her again in the new movie, it's kind of hard to think back. It's like it's kind of a boner killer when you watch this.
Yeah.
At least she can watch this movie and go, I look pretty damn good.
But she seems like such a cool chick that you could say that to her and she'd just laugh. You know?
Yeah.
You know the amount of times I know.
She probably want to know. She'd tell me about it. No, it's kind of a double standard. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's hard for women to stay a sex pot for your whole
I don't
life.
find the guys attractive. I mean, I could say the same thing about Gary Busey. You know what I mean? But I've never at one time has he ever been attractive to me. So his train wreck of a older part of his life doesn't, not the same.
Those teeth, though.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but there is a huge double standard. Like, Harrison Ford could make a movie today where his love interest is like,
30 years
Jessica
younger.
Alba. It'd be fine.
20.
And
Yeah,
if they made a movie where it was Carrie Fisher and her love interest was Chris Hemsworth, people be like, "Oh, what? It's disgusting." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Harrison Ford didn't look that great with his shirt off either. I mean, he's like my dad's age or some shit.
I always thought
seriously.
Yeah.
He's always had fat body. He's never been like a cut up dude or anything.
I always thought these red dudes looked cool. I had a figure.
I don't know. I think in Temple of Doom he was at his most cut.
Really?
It looked like he worked out for that film. Because I know what you mean. He always looks just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad body, I think that's what you call it.
Yeah.
And of course, we're seeing the Emperor for the first time in the flesh in this film.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We saw him in the hologram in Empire. Now we're seeing him in the flesh, so to speak.
And that was pretty cool. I liked this part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And those red guards, do they disappear or something? Because they never see them again.
Oh, I think they're in like the Emperor's lair toward the end of the movie, at least a couple of them. Yeah. Back on the swamp planet. Speaking of aging poorly, Yoda's, my goodness. DJ Donnelly in the live chat on the website wants to know what's the most powerful lightsaber color.
Color?
So I think Stingray answered him perfectly. Sam Jackson's purple, because that's fierce. That's fierce lightsaber. That's fierce
It's
lightsaber.
the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
There you go. Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, out of the classic three, red, green, and blue, probably red, I would have to say, yeah.
Is there a difference? I mean, I'm not sure.
Which one looks the most badass? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go.
Which one looks the
except
coolest,
for
for sure.
in the universe, the bad guys generally are the only ones that use the red blades.
Yeah.
I always
Sith.
like the red myself. I've always been more drawn to the dark side.
Yeah.
No real surprise there.
DJ tweets at us. He says, I first saw Return of the Jedi on TV, and it was awesome. I can't wait to see Star Wars 7 on Saturday. Have a great one, man. Enjoy it.
But the coolest lightsaber, I gotta say, is Darth Maul's, man. Like, after seeing all the re-releases in the late 90s, and then seeing the double-sided one when he breaks it out at the end, I was like, holy shit! This is fucking epic. And then he dies in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they play Tiptoe Through the Tulips. It's crazy, man.
That's true. He tries to possess that little boy.
Now, I've always thought how hard it would be to use that because the actual lightsaber is only like, what, a foot long maybe? And like he's doing all this crazy tricks and shit with it. It just seems like it'd be easy to cut your arm off.
He's very skilled. He's highly skilled. Highly skilled.
I can't wait to see the rainbow lightsaber in the new one so nobody gets offended.
Oh my god.
It's like one of those rocket pops.
The rocket pop. That's awesome. The rocket pop lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then Yoda's just trying to chill. Leave me alone, man. I'm trying to sleep.
He's like, I'm old, man. Let me sleep.
Really is. He's all got him a Snuggie on.
Yeah. He's like, I'm stuck here on this damn swamp planet, freezing my old ass off. Let me sleep.
What happens when you smoke too much pot, kids? Turn green like Yoda.
Looks like it. His eyes are awfully squinty.
Dagobah weed, man. Dank ass swamp weed.
This kush got me lifted, it does.
He does kind of have John Carpenter's hair.
Oh.
Just have green and big ears. It's John Carpenter.
I'm going to drop some truth nuggets on you and go back to sleep.
Yeah. Captain John 1985 tweets at us. He says, my favorite Star Wars movie. It's everything I wanted in a third installment. Oh, cool.
Glad you enjoyed it.
This scene is kind of useless. It's just, yeah, he's really your dad, and then I'm dead.
It kind of drags a little bit, like, you know, just like the Jabba thing kind of dragged a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. So, okay, die already.
It was like, oh, I have these 3 basic ideas or whatever, and I gotta stretch them out as long as possible.
And it's like, you gotta have a Death Star blow up at the end again. You just did that the first movie. It's like, they'll build another Death Star again. And
Of course, everybody wanted to see Luke go up against Vader. You know, that was after Vader killing Ben and then chopping off Luke's hand. We knew there was going to be a new duel, and you know, and it lived up to it. That's probably one of the best parts of the film. So I guess it was successful.
Peace out, playa.
That's what he should have said at the end. Peace out.
And then later on, they try to have another twist, which is a shitty twist. You're my sister. Because you had a twist in the second one. And I think
What about that
trying
guy?
to repeat.
What about that night on Tatooine?
What about that time between movies when you went down on me?
Oh.
Let's just try to forget that. Never happened.
Yeah, let's forget about that.
Put that roadhead.
Right.
You forgot
Oh, I gotta
about
go.
that.
It was like a different movie, Poon Wars.
Well, apparently Alec Guinness didn't piss off George Lucas. There he is.
Yeah. I always thought Luke should have grown a beard for this movie. He needed to transition out of that young boy phase a little bit more.
Well, I know there was a show called Dinner for Five, which I liked, with
Oh yeah.
J.J. Abrams, Kevin Smith, Mark Hamill. They were on it. Mark Hamill was talking about how he actually thought of the sort of look that Hayden Christensen had in the third movie, because he had lived in Japan, had like the widow peak and the little stuff hanging off him, and about also at the fight in the end, he and the other guy playing Darth Vader wanted to use moves with one-handed to get more fluid in the fight. But Lucas at this point said, no, they're heavy. They have to use 2 hands. You can't let go. Well, I guess he got rid of that for the prequels, but that's what they were telling him in Return of the Jedi. That's why the fight is always two-handed. When you see it's always this. So.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I think somebody said in the first commentary we did for A New Hope that Lucas's direction was these are broadswords. Handle them like broadswords. They're heavy broadswords.
Which I guess he forgot about that, or changed his mind, or he was on PCP or something when he made the prequel.
He was probably watching it one night and he was like, you know what? They're right. I'm never going to say that to anybody. I'm never going to admit it. I'm just going to change it and pretend like it never happened.
I hope Michael Bay directs one of the new Star Wars films, because this is too much character development. I can't deal with this. Too much talking. Need more explosions.
I see more cars exploding.
And this movie is desperately needing some Mark Wahlberg.
And there's 2 robots.
Just run by him right now. Like, just fucking.
And those 2 robots need gold teeth. You need taught slaying. They need to tall like black people.
Calling it right now. The last of the current trilogy that we're on for Star Wars: A New Hope. It's or no, The Force Awakens. I mean, it's gonna have a gay pride lightsaber. It's gonna have every ethnicity, Asian. We already got an African American. It's all gonna be there. Can't wait.
Well, that would be kind of cool to have a black lightsaber. Not like black, but, you know, black light with a kind of a bluish.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, I have a feeling, because the world is too PC, they'd be like, well, what do you mean it's black? Like, why is that gotta be black?
Don't ever read the sign of a black crayon, please.
Yeah.
I remember doing it. Be like, I wonder, am I allowed to say that?
That's.
Well, you look at a black crayon, you flip it over, it used to say Negro.
We just still does. We just skipped that segment in Spanish. We just skipped that color.
I forgot about that.
All about that azul and rojo. Rojo.
But it is kind of redundant when you think about it. It's like the Death Star again. You gotta blow it up again. The same way, kind of shoot in the middle, whatever, again.
I don't know, somebody did crunch the numbers on how long it would take to build a Death Star, and there would have been like no way they would have had enough time to build a new one this quickly.
Admiral Akbar is such a boss. Look at him. We must kill everyone.
I mean, building the Death Star would have been like building the pyramids. It would have something that generations would have taken part in, you know? Workers would have been born and died, and then maybe it would have been done.
Yeah.
I was wondering who the hell that guy was that was with Lando all the time. That smaller, weird, big-eyed guy. That guy on the right.
He got assigned. Oh, you're my co-pilot. Cool. Can't understand a fucking thing you're saying, but welcome aboard.
That's true. Like, what the fuck did you just say? But that seems to be typical. I mean, like, Han can understand Chewie, so the other guy's like, yeah, okay, keep talking.
Yeah, well, Han and Chewie have a history now.
Yeah.
But this is like the first time we've seen these two guys together, so it's like, okay.
Considering that you're going to go into battle, maybe you want someone you can talk to and understand, like...
Interpreter!
You got any flashcards to just write down what you're telling me?
I can drop some Star Trek knowledge on you. Everybody's got the universal interpreter.
Oh yeah.
So everyone speaks English. Just make it real easy.
That's true.
That would be the shit, though. If had those for real. Here, just wear this.
Would
be awesome.
I mean, just for Earth languages,
Yeah.
not to mention others.
I'm surprised they don't have this character in the new movie though, Lando. I just didn't feel the need, or
Not sure. Is Billy? I guess Billy D's still alive.
yeah, he's still alive.
Those matte paintings still look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to some shitty CGI, they look pretty good.
I really miss matte paintings.
yeah,
I
I've always
wish they
enjoyed
still
that.
did that.
Yeah.
Damn, he's born in '37. He's pretty old.
Same age as my mom. Damn.
I mean, he may not be in the
OG
best of
dad.
health or anything. He may not be able to,
Right.
or have the desire. Well, he was the voice in the Lego movie of Lando.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What lightsaber colors had they have? Have they already had? Purple,
Green.
red, blue, green. What else?
Was there an orange at one point?
That's the thing. I can't remember the prequels that well. Like,
I don't either.
My brain has just on its own blocked out images from those movies, so I don't know.
Hey, Rambo, Pookie Palms is dying to know how you're doing right now.
I'm doing much better, thank you. I'm feeling much better.
I think the chat assigns those weird names to people. I think just if
It does,
you go
it
in there
does.
as a guest, it's
It assigns you a weird name.
Pookie Palms.
You've got to click on your name to then change your name to whatever you want, or it'll just assign you a weird name.
Yeah. Some of the other names though they've changed.
What's an example of one?
Maybe Piz can read them out to you. I'm not.
Did your webpage crash?
I'm not gonna take that bullet. Yeah, my computer's crashed over here.
Okay, but the movie's still going, so that's good.
Oh, it is? Okay, good. It's lagging though. Fly casual. I love that part.
DJ Donnelly has asked in the chat over on the website, where's Mike, a.k.a. OCP, and Cole tonight? Cole is traveling for the holidays to spend some time with his family, and I'm not sure about Mike OCP. Do you know where Mike OCP is, Orc?
He just said he was going to be busy. He didn't really say more like what he was doing, but you know, holiday stuff, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for everyone watching, James is watching the new movie in the theater. So.
Yes. And I'm praying that people around him are behave, because if not, Darth Vader will have nothing on the wrath of DVD Collector 1974. about to meet some T-Ruxpins. Mike, it's your favorite part. You don't want to miss this.
I couldn't miss this for nothing.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing. I mean, no offense to you, Mike. I think that's kind of what separates the generations there.
Yeah. No offense taken.
Or not, I mean, not generations. I mean, just the age I was when I saw this, you know.
Yeah, if this was your first film and you were really young, you know, the first Star Wars you were in, I could completely understand, you know,
I mean,
how this would be
doesn't bother
favorable.
me that much, but.
And I like the film. I just think it's the weakest of the original three, to me.
Right.
Well, how do you guys feel about, because, I mean, of course, the prequels were plagued with, you know, the Jar Jar Binks epidemic. This movie catches flack because of the Ewoks. Now, I've heard people say, well, you know, C-3PO and R2-D2 are the comic relief, you know, kiddie elements of
We've got
New
somebody
Hope.
posting spoilers in the TSF chat, so
Oh, man.
I don't know what to do about that.
Oh, come on.
I think you're right. You know, you're right about that, but they're already there, and then you're just piling on. You already have C-3PO and R2-D2 being the comic relief, and then you pile on Jar Jar Binks, or you pile on the Ewoks, and it's just too much.
But do you think, did they come off, did R2-D2 and C-3PO, do they come off kiddie? Did they come off kiddie to you then, or more so now, since we've had this super kiddie Jar Jar Binks and the Ewoks?
I've never really thought of them as kiddie.
Me either. I thought them as kind of, you know, sentient in a way. I mean, they were different than other robots. They, you know, other robots were just kind of there, but they were almost like, you know, number 5 is alive type of thing. They seemed like real people with personalities.
Yeah, I've never thought of them as kiddie, quote, kiddie. I mean, I just thought they were characters that started off the journey of the movies. And
There's just a couple of droids that got caught up in the story, and it's almost like the story's from their point of view, in a way, because it starts out with them going down, and they're like in the whole thing. They just happen to get caught up in it.
I think that was based on, I want to say the Seven Samurai or something, where you had two characters who were kind of comic relief type, but they were not, you know, for kids type thing. It was just, there's a little bit of humor in there, but it's not too much over the top.
But no, I was never put off by them at all. I've always enjoyed both of them in all the films. Well, except for maybe the some of the prequels.
Let me reiterate what Stingray said in the chat on the website. Someone is in there giving out spoilers. So if you don't want The Force Awakens spoiled for you, I was going to go in there and moderate and try to remove them, and I didn't catch a spoiler, but I think I came really close to one, so I just exited. If you don't want The Force Awakens spoiled for you, don't go over to the live chat on the website.
I mean, what? Seriously, man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Fucking douchebags.
Don't be that dude, man. Don't be that dude.
Don't be that guy.
Wookie Bomb, I'm talking to you.
There was an arcade game that was a big setup, and you sat in a chair and you played with a huge-ass joystick, and like you got to drive these things. What are they called again?
Speeder bikes?
Speeder bikes, there we go. And you got to maneuver through the trees and stuff. It was pretty epic.
Yeah,
okay, they chase after these troopers so that they won't go, I don't know, they don't have radios or whatever. They can't radio ahead and say, hey, there's rebels here. Whatever. But they're chasing him, and then the guy who's running turns back around and comes back after Luke when he had a clear shot of escaping. I don't know. Just me.
Well, isn't part of their plan is they're supposed to capture Luke because Vader wants him?
Well, when they saw those guys, they jumped on their speeder bikes and took off, and that's when Leia and Luke went after him.
To separate
running
them
from
the group. Okay.
And his name was Chewbacca.
I always loved Chewbacca too. I think it's another thing about these films. There's a lot of memorable characters in the original. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was a cool character. Luke, who was like the upstart that the young people could, imprint themselves on in the story, and the robots and Han Solo, and it's just so much good stuff. Chewbacca, and then another thing, he was like a Bigfoot, but it was like a domesticated Bigfoot, so that was kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah, the History Channel should pay George Lucas and Disney tons and tons, millions and millions of dollars for creating like the Bigfoot theme for all those shows. Did we see him? I don't know. Jack likes beef jerky. Hey yo.
Here we go. Ewoks action.
Oh, look at your big little eyes, and they're so cute.
Now, is that supposed to be Warwick Davis?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
that one.
I think he is that one. Yeah.
I think his name is Wicket.
You can also look at this from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, toys
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
And of course, by this time, the Star Wars hype machine with all the toys was at fever pitch.
That's one thing that's crazy about movies, though. The same dude who's in this outfit plays the Leprechaun.
And Willow.
And Willow,
Yeah,
yes.
Willow, yeah.
I'll be honest, I could deal with him more as this than Leprechaun. I'll be honest with that.
But he was like a kid here. I mean, he was just like a little kid.
I think he's 11 in this movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I do think it's ballsy that later on they actually do kill some. Like, I don't think they would do that in the prequels and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
true,
he was actually died. I thought that was kind of unexpected, ballsy. A little bit, at least. Not saying it's like, oh my God, Saving Private Ryan.
No, I'd rather it be Wookiees, and then the Wookiee that sees his friend die gets pissed off and reaches over and rips off a stormtrooper's head and throws it. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That's
That's
why they
my-
didn't
that's
try
my-
to do that in a prequel, considering they had a Wookiee planet. Like, why didn't they just go that route? But there's like 1,000 things you could say about those movies.
I just want to grab them and give them a big old hug.
After all the shit that I think is wrong with the prequels, the last thing I'm going to think about is why they didn't handle the Wookiees properly. It's just like,
Yeah.
so many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't use it right. It was like, oh, great. It's like, Wookiees, oh, shit, no.
Well, I mean, you remember the holiday special? They tried to handle Wookiees there.
And somehow Yoda and Chewbacca know each other, but there was never anything established about that in the original films.
Like, the only thing they didn't do is have a young Han Solo in there, which I was shocked. This is Han Solo's dad.
Yeah.
And he knew Anakin
Yeah,
or
like-
something.
Or they had like Ryan Reynolds as a young Han Solo.
He just hits the deck. He's like, fuck this.
I think we talked about this before, but a lot of people complain about the different stormtrooper suits just being for marketing purposes to have different looking toys. But I actually kind of appreciate the fact that the different types of troopers look different. They have different uniforms. Like these guys are scout troopers. They're not the rank and file.
Yeah.
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 That doesn't
I get
bother me.
to. Yeah, I always thought that was cool because, like you said, you had like the different ranks. Your rank was based on what your outfit looked like, or like what your specialty was, like the snow troopers, and yeah.
And the pilots wore all black.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So, did you see the Ewok movies afterwards then?
No.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Not the TV show, not the specials, nothing. No.
Didn't they have a cartoon at one point, too?
Yes.
I think I watched all that crap when I was, like, really young.
I didn't even really watch the Clone Wars cartoon. I think it was on Cartoon Network.
I think that's on Netflix now, isn't it?
It
Or
is.
something? Yeah.
I've heard it's really good. I think James said it's really good. I wanted to check it out.
I watched a little bit, a few episodes, I should say, only because they had Darth Maul in them. But yeah.
It lasted for quite a while, didn't it? Like 5 years or so?
There's a lot of animated stuff that I just haven't gotten to, like BoJack Horseman, Archer, stuff like that. Not because I like cartoons, but I don't know, I just haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, the marketing and licensing of this was humongous. Just everything you can think of. Games, all sorts of stuff with Star Wars. Just
Like we talked about before, even a character that was maybe only in it for 30 seconds gets an action figure.
Yeah. I had the action figure of like the octopus guy, and literally he's in this movie in the background for like 3 seconds. They made a figure for him, and I had it.
Well, now you can go buy a 12-pack of water that says Force Awakens all over it, or you can go buy a dozen oranges that have Force Awakens on the bag.
I saw the oranges, and I was like, is that real? That can't be real.
I mean, is that going to seal the deal? Like, oh, fuck, I'm buying them now.
It's crazy. Like a big book, movie, or you have a big CD or a big game, and then you just market the fuck out of everything and make a shit ton of revenue. It's insane how much you can make, like just with one big hit or one good idea. I don't know.
I'd love to see where Chewbacca gets him captured.
I think Chewbacca's weave's kind of busted, too.
It's frizzed out from all the heat, man. It's humid there. It's frizzed out.
Oh, shit.
They're supposed to be Jedis. Come on. What the fuck?
but technically one of them.
Well, yeah.
But he
Just
fucked
look.
up.
Chewie could bite through that net. Come on, man.
Force push, you bitch! God.
Weirdly enough, this part kind of reminds me for some reason of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Which is another part 3.
It does kind of have some parallels, like with the kids, it kind of got a good bit more family friendly.
That's true.
Although this film is
That's true.
far and away better than Mad Max 3 Thunderdome. But yeah, it does. It has the same disappointments in it.
You know, at the beginning. Go ahead.
Did you guys see that Fury Road was like on a bunch of critics, like best movie of the year lists? It was like, yeah, pretty cool.
I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the new Star Wars is already in a bunch of top 10 of the year. It just came out like today.
That was expected, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody expected this to be the biggest movie of all time, not just this year.
Do you think it's going to have enough time to make $1 billion in whatever the few weeks it has?
I wouldn't be
It's
surprised.
possible.
It already made $100 million just in pre-sales.
It'll be number one for at least 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know how much money it'll make, but it'll make.
Oh, it'll make well over $1 billion. I'm just saying I don't know if it'll be in 2015 when it hits that.
Before the year's over.
Yeah. To technically be the biggest movie of the year, I guess
If
financially.
it's being released worldwide tomorrow, maybe it's gonna have a better shot.
They're going to at least make enough money to buy a small country if they want to.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just imagine what they made so far, and it's like barely even out. I mean, just off marketing and products and
Merchandise.
retail, merchandise, everything else.
I can understand why the original cast, some of these guys are, thinking about retiring. They're getting up there, and this is one last big paycheck to really go out on. This movie
Right.
made them stars, so it's kind of apropos to go out and what brought you in.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder if maybe Mark Hamill or someone actually negotiated for a percentage
That would
for
have been
Harrison
smart too.
Ford. Yeah.
Because the first movie nobody knew what they had, but by now they should know.
They had to do something to get those guys back, I think.
Especially Harrison Ford, because he really, for the longest time, wanted nothing to do with Star Wars. He didn't even want to be in this movie. He wanted to be killed in Empire.
Right. And in this movie, I think he wanted to be killed too, Return.
Well, he is hogtied right now, so I can kind of understand a little bit of that.
Yeah, he was captured by teddy bears. How humiliating.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably reading this script going, I get captured by teddy bears? Oh my god. This Lucas guy's a whack job.
We got to let them do what they need to do. Let them capture us. Well, I got a blaster and you got a lightsaber. Fuck these little things. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, George. All right, guys. We got these bears, right? They're going to come in. All right?
I mean, well, George did produce Howard the Duck, so he didn't learn anything. It's another little guy.
When's Howard the Duck getting its
There's something about that movie. I enjoy Howard the Duck. I probably shouldn't, but I really, really enjoy it.
I enjoy it too.
That was the strangest thing in Guardians of the Galaxy when everyone's stuck around to see Howard the Duck at the end. Like 90% of the audience was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
I had no idea it was Howard the Duck. I didn't get
Right.
any spoilers or anything. I was like, oh, Howard the Duck, really? I was thinking, like, are they going to do another Howard the Duck movie? They're going to revive Howard the Duck?
It was. So I've heard that's how he looks in the comics. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was more true to the actual art design.
I've never read the comics. I wouldn't know.
Maybe now there'll be like a Howard the Duck 2, Willow 2.
They're just throwing shit at the fan and seeing what sticks, man.
What happened to Goonies 2? I thought Goonies 2 was a go.
Yeah.
Batteries not included too.
Bankrupt of Ideas, Part 45.
If you want to do an all-female cast, give us the Lost Girls.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I would like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. By this time in Luke's training, it's great. He can lift up C-3PO. At this point, he should be able to rip trees out of the ground and beat the shit out of these teddy bears with the Force. Why is he fucking around with this little magic tricks?
I guess the point with the Jedi is that they don't like hurt people or things or whatever.
I don't know. If I was tied to a stick, like a rotisserie style thing, I might think about defending myself.
Yeah, I mean, I would. You would too.
I wouldn't indiscriminately slaughter every teddy bear, just as many as I needed to.
Well, I mean, deep down, I think you'd be like, slaughter them all. Be like Rambo 4. Just 50 calibers.
Look, you little fuzzy bastards! I don't want to have to kill you.
Just blowing these things to pieces.
Behind one.
Somebody needs to make a fan edit of Rambo doing that, and then just exploding, That'd be awesome.
I see that movie.
Now, see, here's where 3PO, I don't know if you guys are here yet, but he's actually telling them the entire story from the first movie up till now.
Yeah. It's weird that they have one smoke in a pipe.
Yeah.
He's got to get his smoke on, man, Ewok 420. They live in, they're children of nature.
So it's like
these are the original avatars.
So they're like hippies.
I'd love to see Mike the first time he watched this. God, I bet you were rolling, man. You're like, what the hell?
So what's this bullshit? I just got done watching Friday 13-3. Now watching this shit.
Yeah, I had actually already seen like Halloween 3 in the theaters and Friday 3 in the theaters.
3D.
And, wow.
Yeah, go from Friday in 3D to Ewoks on my stream.
Definitely not what I was wanting.
Yeah.
But there again, it doesn't ruin it for me. It just
Right.
makes it the weakest. I still like the movie. It's really good. But
Yeah.
after Empire,
Yeah. Is that a skull on the one's head?
I think he's like the medicine man,
Oh, okay.
doctor type, because it seems very tribal.
Under one has like a freeze-dried iguana on his chest.
One looks like he's going to be like Papa Shango or something.
Papa Shango.
Yeah.
I love the way Solo just gets this 3PO. Their interactions always entertain me.
Yeah, much as he hates it, he did do a good job in these movies. Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one thing they didn't need in the movie. This is like sister thing. It just seemed pointless.
It seemed forced. It really did. Especially, and I think it was in Empire when Yoda says, "No, there's another."
Yeah.
Well, that kind of takes away all the importance from Luke. Why have you been browbeating this fucking kid for the last hour if there's a second choice? You know yeah. So it kind of went, huh? Luke is the savior of the Jedis, then no, there's another.
There's no backup plan.
So who's that person and where's their story and why should I care? But you know, everybody kind of knew though. Oh, they're talking about Leia.
Yeah.
It was pretty evident.
Other than I don't know why they had them kiss in the earlier film.
Yeah, they didn't think out this whole brother-sister thing, I don't think.
Well, I think it's possible if you didn't know and you like grew up on opposite sides of the galaxy with different family members and you didn't know you had a sibling.
Yeah.
If you met that person randomly, it's a chance that you might be attracted to them, not knowing. I guess it's possible.
Oh.
Now, if you keep banging after you find out, then that's gross.
That's
Anything
a
that happens
problem.
before is cool. It's after.
Now, I've heard of people around, so older people around here in this area who found out after they were married that they were related. So.
Oh, wow.
Damn you, Ancestry.com.
Not to reinforce a negative stereotype.
Holy shit. I thought there was something familiar about you.
Yeah. You mean because we got the same last name, we related?
Just because I saw you at Christmas down at the parents' house last year?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You mean because your granddaddy is my granddaddy that we're related?
Wouldn't want to take a dip in that gene pool.
Pretty shallow.
Just.
I think Orc's passed out. All this character development. He's like, we're going to lightsaber fight. We'll take a nap.
Oh, the story. I can't deal with it.
He's on Dota. He's on Dota 2. He's gone
Don't
for the
they
night.
get all the story and the exposition out of the way right at the beginning with that scroll? I want action now.
He's watching Nakatomi Plaza or something.
Yeah. Switch to Die Hard. How's Die Hard, Orc?
That's awesome, man. Greatest move of all time.
What do you prefer, Orc? Die Hard or Beverly Hills Cop?
Oh.
Good question.
I prefer Die Hard and the Die Hard franchise, even though Beverly Hills Cop is pretty fucking epic, 1 and 2. Just because, like, I don't know, Predator's good, Aliens is good, all those movies, Terminator 2, but Die Hard, the first one, is the best action movie in my opinion. The best scenario, hostages coming to the building, like Tommy Plaza. But Beverly Hills Cop is up there, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like, Beverly Hills Cop would probably be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Die Hard's definitely in my top 5, easy. But, yeah.
Well, even though I love the Die Hard franchise and the first 2 films especially, I don't know. That's another one where the second one I almost like better than the first one, but it's kind of like with Empire and Star Wars. It's like you can't go wrong with either one, but something about the second one I really enjoy. But there's another buddy cop action flick, Lethal Weapon, that takes place at Christmas. And that's another one I enjoy watching. And in the first Lethal Weapon, I enjoyed all the films, but the first one was really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess it was one I grew up, but I like the first and the fourth one the best. Those are my 2 out of the 4 that I like the most.
Yeah, the other day on Twitter, I asked, "What's the worst Christmas movie you've ever seen?" Someone said Cobra. It was a joke, obviously, but it was pretty funny.
Of course, another budding film that does take place around Christmas is I Come in Peace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But, like, just a quick top 5, I guess overall films that I would just rank, like Terminator 2, Predator, Aliens, Die Hard, and Empire Strikes Back. That's like an easy top 5 for me.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
But B-movie, Mike, I get perfectly what you mean about certain sequels. How you feel about Die Hard 2? I feel the same way about Predator 2.
Yeah, and I love both of those films. And they get so much. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just saying there are days if it's either on par or sometimes even like Predator 2 a little bit more than Predator. And nothing against Predator.
I did not have a problem with Predator 2 whatsoever. The lore that was given in the first film said that he goes wherever there's conflict.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense that he would go to an inner city of a violent, in a violent area, because people are armed or killing each other, and that's a place for him to go. So, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it.
But hey, Schwarzenegger says it has to be in a jungle, so you gotta listen to what Schwarzenegger says.
And it was, Schwarzenegger. It would have been stupid if he would have been in it. What, they're going to call him to come to the city? What? No, the people there are going to have to deal with it. So
I think
Gary
they
Busey and. Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
I think if he was in it, they would have him play the Gary Busey part. Which I know sounds stupid, but that's what I heard.
I don't think that would have worked, though. That's
right.
I thought Danny Glover did a good job. I didn't have a problem with that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought yeah. I
mean, the first one to me is a classic. I mean, because just the actors you have in it.
Oh, absolutely. It's my favorite Arnold film, honestly.
Jesse Ventura. Sexual Tyrannosaur. I mean, there's so many things in that movie that are classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great cast in that one.
Yep.
Absolutely agree.
I think I enjoy the cast more than I enjoy the actual movie. Just those guys interacting with each other.
Now, if that cast was in this movie.
Oh man!
Could you imagine Sonny Landham as Darth Vader?
He'd have the laugh.
Bill Duke as Lando Calrissian.
He would have the laugh.
Darth Vader has a Sonny Landham laugh.
Just don't make Gary Busey Han Solo.
You gotta have like Carl Weathers or something. That's how
it would have changed Schwarzenegger's whole career. Get to the Millennium Falcon now!
That would work.
That's too many words for Arnold at that time.
Jesse Ventura would be Chewbacca.
Oh my God! Yeah. But we kind of talked about this on A New Hope, and Mike, you mentioned it just a little while ago when Yoda says, there is another. I always interpreted that, especially after watching this film as an adult and understanding it, that I always thought he was referring more to Vader than Leia, because like we said, or like I said in A New Hope, ultimately, Anakin Skywalker, his destiny came true. He destroyed the Sith. He just did it in a very ass-backwards way. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
I could see where it would be interpreted as that. It's just that Obi-Wan says, that boy's our only hope. And then Yoda's like, no, there is another. And it makes it sound like in addition to him. But I could see where you would interpret it as that maybe he was counting on Vader turning at the end and
right. Like Luke, I don't know, like Luke would tap into the last vestiges of Anakin inside him.
Co-pilot sure is ugly, isn't he? What is going on with that guy? He's got like 2 dead skin masks on.
And Akbar and the flying carp. Yeah. Who taught fish how to fly a spaceship? I don't mean to be racist.
Would that really be racist? I mean,
if you threw a shitload of cornflakes at him, would that distract him?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
To all the fish watching us at home, B-Movie Mike's comments do not reflect how we all feel.
Yeah, like you said, though, that's the best bro line of all time. Put your top.
Yeah.
To all the fish out there.
Yeah, those damn things are hard to fly in Battlefront.
Oh, don't even try.
I blow myself up every time.
Yeah, no, in that game, it's like, whoa, I got an AT-AT, and then I just run into a wall.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd hate about it is that when you're on foot, it seems like it's huge. The map is huge, right? It takes you forever. When you spawn on the other side from where you need to be, it's like, fuck, But then when you're in a vehicle, it's like a postage stamp. It's like, holy shit, I got to turn around already. I thought this thing was huge. I said, yeah.
Hey. You tricked me, Solo.
I guess the more I think about it, Harrison Ford's character doesn't really have much to do in this movie.
I guess that's why he volunteered to be a general, because he had nothing better to do. Like, oh, job is taken care of. I guess I'll hang out with you guys.
I mean, I like Lando, but maybe it would have been interesting if it was him piloting the Millennium Falcon to blow up the Death Star. Then that would have been. But I mean, I like Lando. I think just to give Han Solo more to do, if this is your third part of your trilogy, it just seems like he's such a major character, but he doesn't really do anything than get caught and. Chewie.
Well, I think they probably.
Well, maybe they were afraid if they had Lando be the general of the landing party, it would look bad because a black man's leading them to break into a house.
I didn't even think about that.
So maybe they're like, oh, we can't have Lando be that guy. He's going to be flying the spaceships. We'll have Han do that.
Well, I was going to say too. I mean, I think he's still on this redemption kick after getting Han, in the whatever for so long,
Gotcha.
Oh shit, the best part in any of the movies is coming up soon, boys.
What's that?
Lightsaber cross and the shit-eating grin. Love it.
Yeah, that makeup looks better there than it did earlier on the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
In the high definition, it looked kind of wonky earlier. But that's me nitpicking, right? That's what I do.
That's what we all do.
It's what I do all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. If it bothers you, it bothers you.
It doesn't bother me.
I'm just saying, what, you don't do lie? It was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
This CGI is the best.
It's the best of the best.
He needs to see a dentist stat.
That or Dr. Doodles.
That's another power he has. He breathes on you.
Oh!
Those lightning bolts are tough, but oh man, keep that halitosis away, brother.
Halitosis.
I really think he stole the show for me. The Emperor, I always loved him.
Yeah, he was my favorite character, I think.
So creepy.
And the one guy that could tell Darth Vader what to do.
Yeah. You know, he's a bad mother if he can do that.
Only one. Rebel scum. I'm sorry, but Solo's co-pilot. Blah, 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 blah.
I was gonna say before, like, what is this like weird?
Like Jay pointed out, it looks like he's wearing like two other faces over his face, like some kind of like Leatherface type shit. Blah, blah, blah.
Got like pancakes on his face, just a little cut out.
Got Admiral Catfish over here.
Who dropped those cornflakes?
Ready for this porn face.
Oh, there we go!
You can't even understand it at all.
What do you want me to sound like? Just sound like you're at the dentist and you have a bunch of shit in your mouth. Good job. Cut.
Nailed it.
What an evil fuck. Here we go, boys.
I never understood the whole ultimatum, give in to your hate to destroy me. Well, if you use your hate to destroy him, you've then done something good with your hatred. So how is that a bad thing?
Basically trying to bring him over to the dark side. I mean, right?
I think just the last shot in anger. Just to be angry.
It's probably the
I guess
exact
that's
same thing he did to Vader. Something similar, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
To
that
make him
scene with
get-
that scene with Christopher Lee.
But I would be like, well, of course I want to destroy you. You're the bad guy. I'm the good guy.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Duh. You know?
But they always had that weird thing with these films. I mean, even like the prequels, that Christopher Lee scene when he dies, and the Emperor's like, "Yeah, kill him, and it'll be a good thing." And now, yeah, that helps me out for some reason.
Oh, that's not the way of the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Some
weird
kind of-
thing.
But they only use it like when they feel that they need to. Some kind of bullshit.
Over here, old chap.
But I don't know, maybe it's that kind of stuff that maybe like, okay, I'm watching Death Wish 3 instead or something.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Giving you $8, sure thing. Done. Done deal. Well, no, that's realistic at all.
All of Chewbacca's sons, come out at once.
It's like, we all remember what happened to the Native Americans, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I do like that or Vietnam.
bows and arrows aren't going to help you, I don't think.
If you don't keep up, you will be left behind. Oh boy, a kick from a 40-pound teddy bear sent me flying. They should have been bouncing off those stormtroopers and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, man.
Hey
You're way
man,
ahead of
50
me.
pounds flying really fast can knock you over. I don't care who you are.
These teddy bears beating the crap out of me.
It's like the fist pump moment for 6-year-olds all over the world. Yeah! Get 'em, teddy bears! Oh.
Coach Trent! We need R2. Here's the terminal. R2, where are you? We need you at the bunker right away. Gary, what do you think you're doing?
See, but R2 can't use those jetpacks that he had in the prequels.
What jetpacks? That make it too easy.
Yeah.
You're all dead now. Every one of you are dead.
The space battle's really cool compared to the what's going on the surface.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't bother me. I mean, I understand what they were trying to do, but it's not 100% works. I mean, they're trying to go with that whole the primal group that know their environment against the high technology, but at the end of the day, it's still Ewoks, so it just...
Right.
It had to have been humanoids or something else that might have been more interesting.
Or Wookiees.
Yeah, or Wookiees.
Yeah. But I mean, when you compare it like this, and then the Luke Vader fight, it's definitely the less...
Are there Ewoks in Battlefront?
Well,
Not
you're
that
on
I've seen.
Endor. Yeah, there are, because
Oh, yeah, that's right.
one of the maps is Endor, and you see them, like when you're you go up through their tree houses as part of the map, and they'll run inside their house and slam their door shut.
But not, I mean, they're not
They don't
playable.
interact with you, though. Usually run away from you.
Unfortunately. I would be the Ewok every time.
You'd be like, odd job, cheating. I've got the golden lightsaber.
Have any of you played as Luke or Darth Vader in the game?
No,
I
haven't done
tried.
good enough.
But the controls are kind of, you don't know what you're doing until you do it. You don't get that many opportunities to practice. But I don't know.
Yeah, the tutorial I played for a while as Darth Vader, and it's cool. You can like
deflect laser blasts.
deflect the bullets, and you've got the force choke, and it's pretty cool.
Now Han is kind of I mean, his weapon's more powerful and he can take more damage, but he's not like. In Princess Leia, it's like, really? I think there could have been other characters before, like Chewbacca. How about that?
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Run up to someone, hit L1 to strangle them. Just stop moving. Next. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I mean, the force choke, and then you can toss your lightsaber, like just kill someone. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Damn, R2.
DW40 is a hell of a drug. WD-40. Bad.
I think I didn't say quite right. He's huffing it.
Oh, they're dead.
Oh,
Well,
he died.
Sad.
Oh man. The feels.
Too much
I
feels
know,
in
man.
these movies.
I felt like I almost knew what kind of a man that teddy bear was. He will be missed.
Will be missed.
Is that the guy from Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes, it is.
These Y-wing pilots are awful sassy, aren't they?
Booger was almost cast as Luke Skywalker.
I wouldn't complain.
Oh shit!
Well, with Booger, he probably would have tried even harder to get into Leia's pants, even after he found out that she was his sister. Been a whole different movie.
We've actually created the best movie ever. We've got Sonny Landham in here. We've got Booger.
So that other
Take
guy
his real
would be
name, but-
Vader and just be saying nerds, nerds,
Ogre, yeah, Ogre.
it's
That'd be
Vader,
awesome.
nerds.
And he'd be like, Jedi!
Jedi. Just busting beer cans on his face. He just won't have to use his hand, just teleport right on his face. Crunch.
You know how they thought C-3PO was some kind of a god? Wouldn't you think that they would be more that way toward Chewbacca?
That's true. It's true.
Because he is like two of them in one, and a fierce warrior. He would be more like, I don't know, that just make more sense than a shiny robot. How would they know what metal is? I don't know.
Maybe that was their point, is that they didn't know. It's just like, what is this new thing?
Man, that guy's tall. Call him Stretch. His legs are as long as two of those guys, I think.
Okay, so he's two normal people, and he's three Ewoks.
That may be about right.
I think the guy that played Vader was damn near the same height as Chewbacca. Not quite.
He was like
Like,
6'7"
like-
or something like that.
Yeah, 6'7". I think the guy who plays Chewbacca is, 6'10"?
Oh, is that right?
Something like that. He's up there.
Peter Mayhew.
Yep.
Didn't
He's
he
still
just
kicking,
pass
too.
away?
So that was,
Oh, is he? Okay. I was thinking I'd heard he
He's
passed
still,
away.
he's still, no, he's in Force
he's in the
Awakens.
new movie, yeah.
Oh, wow. So he plays Chewbacca.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's nice.
I think Anthony Daniels is back as C-3PO, and he's always done a great job as C-3PO. I thought
For
it's
sure.
kind of the unsung performances.
Pelted with those rocks.
I always thought this was pretty cool.
How the fuck did they have, I don't know if you're where I'm at, but how did they have the time to chop down all those trees, those little bitty Ewoks? It would have taken like 60 of the fucking things to move them, stack them, and build the trap.
This is where Rocky got its montages from. Rocky 4, chopping the trees. You know?
But I always figured they were there for other threats, or like just
Solo cops a
feel.
feel.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like,
Oh.
oh yeah, your shoulder, right.
Your supple shoulder.
Sorry, dude. It was so close.
She's a badass.
She called drill time on them punks. She got them lacking on some Goofy and drill time.
They're like, damn.
This dude, shut the fuck up. You think you are?
You shut the fuck up, old man. After I get done whooping his ass, I'm coming after you.
He's got some sort of
Wait your
Jedi
fucking turn.
pit fight going on.
Why don't you go wash your face?
Go whip his ass. Never whip your ass.
There's got to be a video of like World Star Hip Hop with like Emperor talking shit.
Oh god, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, oh, you know there is.
Strike down upon the candy ass. Such some breakdance.
And they're trash talking like this movie. I saw a white man can't jump. They just trash talk like that. What do you want to do, OP? Go back to Aunt B and get my shit ready.
This is what you'd waited all those years for, Mike. This was the battle. The ultimate battle.
And aside from a few annoyances, it's about as good as it can get.
Yeah. And maybe that's why, maybe that's why the Emperor wanted Luke to kill Vader, because even the Emperor knew. Well, even maybe the Emperor knew that if anybody's going to kill me, it's going to be Vader. Skywalker doesn't have, or Luke doesn't have what it takes.
The cojones.
That's definitely a triple stack of pancakes. For sure.
Yeah.
Fuck a double chin. He's got a triple cheek.
That's when you know you gotta hit the gym. Instead of going down, it goes this way.
Somebody needs to wash their face. Just to get up in them folds.
I can just buy when Vader's fucking with his head, steady talking shit. And, oh, a sister.
And this coming up was the moment I mentioned where it's actually my favorite part of any of the films. This scene coming in. So I appreciate the choreography in the prequels, but sometimes just simpler just works better for me.
Well, simpler, and I mean this battle had heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, because I like choreography, but sometimes they do get too choreographed, like it's a dance. And his, I liked it was more of a raw.
I appreciate that
emotional.
the editing wasn't all fucking hyperkinetic. You just, you know, it actually, you can see what's going on in the frame. The cuts make sense.
And it just seems more real to me. Like, it's not, I know 30 moves ahead of you. It's like almost like desperate.
Yeah.
See, right now Luke is pissed as hell. Why does it matter? He's fighting Vader.
Yeah.
But he couldn't strike at the Emperor. And look at him, he's like, fuck you.
Well, it's those daddy issues that we talked about. You know, all those are coming out now.
That music, though.
I wonder if all that's because of what Lucas had said that, well, it's not Luke's story, it's really Anakin's story and his redemption and stuff, which I honestly never gave a shit about Anakin's story, to be honest. I always thought it was Luke's story, but...
The prequels were
So
Anakin's story. This
But, I
is
mean,
Luke's story. Yeah, I don't understand that.
But even Lucas will say, like, oh, this is still part of Anakin, like his redemption here at the end, which I'm guessing that's why he didn't, like you said, why didn't he just fuck y'all and you're dead, but no, Anakin has his redemption and all this. And then I don't get it either, but Lucas is crazy. At least to me.
There went the DirecTV on the new Death Star.
This is that pancake face.
That'd be funny if some officer who was like off his shift was in his room jerking off to internet porn and all of a sudden, hey, what the fuck? Damn it!
That would be a real no moment.
Vader's other son.
You can't push his old ass away from you or jump or do something.
For as old as these movies are, no offense, but like the effects are really, really good, I think, with the lightsabers and especially his lightning. They didn't modify that too much, did they, Mike? Do you remember from back in the day?
They enhanced it a little bit,
Yeah.
but they didn't have to do too much. It was a pretty good effect. I think really where they enhanced it was the blending of the animation with the live action, because you know all the swords and stuff are like animated.
Yeah.
I think when they went back and redid some of the effects, they really kind of blended it better. I don't know, Luke is betting his life that his dad will turn. Because that's the only thing that could save him, and I don't know if I could do that.
Right. I mean, we could just take a gun and shoot him in the face.
No.
No.
I actually muted that part before I got to this. I didn't listen to it. That's for me. I mean, folks out there, I do respect what Lucas did, but sometimes he's just crazy. But he actually thinks that sounds good. That sounds perfectly fine. It just there's not a single person that agrees with him.
No, because you didn't need it. It was unnecessary. You could tell Vader was looking at Luke. He was looking at the Emperor. He was looking at Luke, and you could tell the transformation. You could see what he was thinking. You didn't need to hear no.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. It almost seems like he's literally just trolling the people who hated this stuff.
Well, if you hated that, wait till you see this.
You see this shit.
So is it true, like, he stuck the original films up his ass and won't let Disney add them so they can re-release them as originals?
Oh.
Kind of hoping OCP would be here because he has. You guys all know a lot about the movies and the trilogy and George Lucas, etc., etc. But like, I never knew that about the stock though. That he told us how Lucas bought, a lot of stock in Disney. I thought that was
part
pretty
I did
interesting.
though. That was part of the deal.
Yeah. But I don't know to answer your question actually.
I just know. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I think OCP had said that on our A New Hope show, was that, he still had control of the original trilogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
the original film stock that they would need to make the new transfer from, he owns. So the only thing available is the special edition. He's got the actual originals.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because he's going to sit on them just to continue to piss us off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was a thing called The People versus George Lucas. And they mentioned about how he wanted to permanently alter that old stock so that it was permanently altered forever. So I think the quote was, in a certain amount of years, there's only going to be special edition. And that's all he prefers. It's his movies. Even though that's not really true, because there's other people who worked on them, effects guys, other directors. I mean, he didn't direct this. That guy doesn't have a say in it because he's passed away. So I think that's a bit unfair. Without the actors, effects guys who build the sets, John Williams, all that, you wouldn't have a movie either. I mean, just to be fair. If every single one of those people said yes and agree with you, George, that's one thing, but.
Now, do you remember what your reaction was here, Mike, when the mask did come off and you saw the old fella underneath it?
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Disappointment there?
I was disappointed. It's like a crusty old white dude. He looks like somebody's grandfather that got pissed off because some kids were on his lawn or something. It didn't match the menace. But I guess it was really supposed to be the representation of the inner self that was actually more, human.
I always thought he had a harmonica attached to his face, like Blues Traveler.
It kind of looks that way, like he's gonna go busking. And what the fuck's up with his egg head? I never really understood the scarring and what might have happened to him, but man, yeah, it was like sometimes the mask shouldn't come off.
Yeah, I agree.
But they were trying to get him to be human again so he could emote to his son, and I understood the purpose of it, but yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's all I could think, though. I was like 9 years old. I was like, is he going to play that thing? What the hell?
Well, I mean, we did see. I mean, how many people did he force choke in Empire Strikes Back? And now you see, it's my grandpa under there,
Yeah.
It's like, it's not James Earl Jones?
Yeah. Wait a minute, it's not James Earl Jones?
I don't know. I mean, he kind of looks similar to the Emperor to me.
Yeah.
All old and crusty, like Mike said.
Well, I guess the question I have for everyone, do you just for your own preference, not for the preference of like the story, the art, but your preference. Would you have preferred if they did not humanize Darth Vader? If he was not humanized and redemption, feel sorry. If it really was a more basic good guy, bad guy, fight each other, he kills the bad guy.
No, I think that is what made Star Wars different than the other ones. I think that's what gave it, what it was. That's what made it popular. Really, was the connection and the families and the father son. There's a lot of in a lot of families there's a father son dispute at a certain age. Not in all families, but in some. And there's usually something a person has to do to become an adult or whatever. And I don't know. I thought it covered pretty familiar ground, and that's why it resonated. So it didn't bother me.
I mean, he got his dad's respect, in a lot of ways.
He freed his dad from basically a prison. His dad was stuck as Darth Vader, and until Luke came along, he was nothing he could do about it. So he just went with it.
Mm-hmm.
His survival basically depended on the Emperor because he had that suit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But after he saw there was a reason to, only through death could he redeem himself, so he had to sacrifice himself to save his son, and that was pretty good moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
And here, Solo kind of wimps a little bit. 'Cause, in Empire, it was like, I love you. I know. And I was like, oh, you love Luke. Well, when he comes back, I won't get in the way.
Yeah.
Well, just forget about me then.
The pussification of Solo.
I mean, the real Solo would have been like, "Oh, kick his lily white ass,"
No, he'd be like, that's all right.
He
That's
just
all right,
did,
princess. I got other poon to slay. Later.
Exactly. Me and Lando gonna head over to a Tatooine and get our groove on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Look at this Ewok, the ultimate galactic cockblock.
Lando know all of the hoes, baby.
I should be like, yeah, I love Luke, but that's not your biggest concern because you don't know what Lando and I did while you were frozen.
Got him.
You told him to take care of me, and oh boy, did he.
Did he ever?
When you were frozen, Lando shot first.
That needs to be a T-shirt right there.
You just see him and he smiles. Yeah, dude, copyright that idea, man. You can make tons of money off that.
Yeah, that's not licensed or anything. The material's not licensed.
When you're frozen. This part got added in, right? Like all the one that was
it sticks out like a sore thumb.
All these cities had nothing to do with the fight.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah.
The little Jar Jars up there.
Like, none of these cities helped us in the fight, but thank good you're celebrating. Thanks for nothing.
All these damn Mogwais help me out. Y'all are...
Mogwais.
And they had shitty music.
I wonder if they at least gave those stormtroopers a proper burial, What's on the menu tonight for the party, Stormtrooper?
Yeah.
Rotisserie Stormtrooper. And I mean, you know, Lando flew in just a crate of Colt 45 for tonight, and some of that good space kush, man.
Man, that's a twist. The Ewoks are cannibals. It's like, have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? Pretty soon it's going to happen. Oh,
Here
shit.
it is. Oh, God, that's awful.
Oh, why?
Oh, that's awful.
Even as a ghost, he has stiff acting.
Yeah, he's even horrible as a ghost.
Oh, why can't you just leave the originals alone? Like, I remember the originals, man.
But I mean, how's he supposed to know that's his dad? How's he supposed to know? I mean, how's he? You know, it's like, wait a minute, who's that?
Who's that guy?
Yeah, who's that jerk? But that's it.
Hey, what a way to ruin the ending.
I know. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
I had to bug out for the Hayden Christensen part. I can't take that.
I hadn't seen that before.
That's fucking horrible.
That's
Sure.
I
awful.
might have seen it before in Spike, but I didn't remember it, especially the city part with all the CGI cities.
I'd seen some screenshots of the Jar Jars up there, but
Yeah, all the cities that were in none of the 3 movies.
Yeah. Oh goodness, but that wraps it up, guys. That wraps up Return of the Jedi, and also our exploration of the original Star Wars trilogy, our lead up to the release of The Force Awakens. And yeah, do you guys have anything in closing you'd like to say about Return of the Jedi, or just the original Star Wars trilogy before we call it a night?
leave it
Well, I
alone,
think-
George.
Yeah. I say the original trilogy, really, all 3 films are good, and that's kind of a rarity in a series.
Mhm.
Usually, by the time you get to part 3, they're kind of grasping at straws. And I thought, even though there was a few things in it that I didn't enjoy, I thought overall it was a solid film and a decent ending to a really good trilogy.
Mhm.
They're iconic films. I mean, it's my childhood. I was 8, almost 9 when I saw the first one, and I grew up with these movies, and they're part of my life. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. And like you guys, you were introduced to them maybe later, but maybe Jedi's the one you introduced you to it, but it drew you in enough that you went and checked out the rest of them and became a part of the collective of people that really enjoy these films.
I was young enough before the shit hit the fan.
But I'm not one of those guys that loves it so much that I'm going to go camp out for a week and a half, in a Jedi suit, smelling of patchouli and butt stank, just to go see the movie. Because you want to talk about unwashed masses. That line to see Star Wars had to be pretty stanky.
Did they do that this time, or was that just the prequels?
No, they were interviewing people. With one guy who was dressed up in like Qui-Gon Jinn or whatever, and he'd been there a week. Yeah,
For this new one?
For this new one.
And he was dressed up as Qui-Gon Jinn?
Yeah, he had long hair and a Jedi robe, so that's who he reminded me of.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there were people camping out, okay.
Yeah,
They just need to fly by with a crop duster and crop dust on Febreze. Breeze the shit out of them.
Just pull up a fire truck and hose them down.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to break up a riot. You guys are all right and everything, but you stank, so we're going to go ahead and wash you off here.
Yeah.
Talking about the least likely folks to start a riot.
And yeah, there's a few DVDs I've seen of those called Star Wars and Star Wait, and it's just, I couldn't do that. I couldn't wait for any movie weeks, months before.
Was Star Wait pretty good? Because I haven't seen it, but I've heard you talk about it. A few
Which
other people too. Star Wait. The one.
It's fun to watch. For those who don't know, it's pretty much, it was a DVD when one of the prequels came out that shows what these people were doing day to day during the wait, and there was some fun seeing how they fight with each other and drama and all that stuff. It was fun in that way. But I'm like, man, I could never do that. I could never camp outside on a sidewalk.
Well, you know, fans of these films are. When this game Battlefront was released, they had a midnight release. I didn't get to go, but I go to the GameStop quite a bit, so they were telling me about, they shot phone video of guys in full garb having lightsaber fights in the parking lot, waiting for the game to be released. That's not even the movie. That's just a game.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Right.
I hear guys having lightsaber fights at like Star Trek Genesis premieres and stuff.
Any excuse.
Yeah, any excuse to break out those lightsabers and those outfits. Any excuse.
But as long as they're having fun and not hurting anybody, I don't have a problem with it. It's just not me.
Right. Exactly.
Sure.
Sorry, I was having some internet issues, but I'm back. So, have we covered all the bases? Did you guys give your final thoughts on the trilogy?
Yeah, for me, they just speak for themselves. For me.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. I mean, that's I think we've covered all the bases, and then some talking about this trilogy, how iconic it is, and how it really sort of changed. I think science fiction, really, and just filmmaking in general. I mean, I don't think there's a series of films with the kind of fan base, rabid fan base, loyal, just die-hard fan base that Star Wars has. So
I think one of the best things that George Lucas ever did was, ILM and Skywalker Sound, and the impact that those had on films after this. I mean, Star Wars is really responsible for just a major step forward in special effects and how things were done. So even if you don't like the films, you probably like a film that was made better because of what Star Wars did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Big thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. Big thanks to everybody who tweeted at us, to people who joined us in the live chat on the website, except for the one guy who was giving out spoilers.
Boo you.
Very naughty. Very naughty. Cole for you. Cole. Just want to remind everybody, we're going to be off for the next 2 weeks because of the holidays, and then we will return. I think it's the first Thursday in January. Is it the 7th? The 7th, January 7th. We will return, and we will devote an entire show to just talking about The Force Awakens. So just want to wish everybody out there a great holiday season, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a crazy Kwanzaa, a terrific Tet, whatever it is that you celebrate this time of year. We hope you have a great, safe, happy one, and have a great new year as well. We'll see you in 2016 right back here on the Sausage Factory YouTube channel. Thanks again, have a great one, people. Peace.
Go Polo Charlie Sheen. Bye.